On a homecoming Saturday in Newark, University of Delaware alumni have come far and wide to see their Blue Hens at Delaware Stadium. The Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, though, would love to spoil those weekend plans and become bowl eligible in the process. It's Conference USA football on ESPN+. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Scott Klatskin alongside University of Delaware Athletics Hall of Famer Pat Devlin. And Pat, you know a thing or two about putting up big numbers as a quarterback at the University of Delaware, and that's exactly what Nick Minicucci is doing for Ryan Carty's offense.
Absolutely. Nick Minicucci has been nothing short of impressive this season for Delaware. Over 2,400 yards passing, 15 touchdowns, and he's taking care of the football with only 4 interceptions on the year. He's a steady hand that's helped the Blue Hens transition to FBS play without losing their offensive identity. For Minicucci, the key is poise and trust, trusting his pre-snap reads, trusting his protection calls with the center, and not forcing something that isn't there. He's had a great year, but this matchup will test every bit of his timing, patience, and decision-making.
You're absolutely right about that. He'll have his hands full today against a Louisiana Tech defense that has intercepted 13 passes and leads the nation with 6 defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, this Louisiana Tech defense is built on chaos, the good kind. And Scott, you mentioned the stats, 13 INTs, 6 touchdowns on defense. That's not just opportunistic, that's game-changing production. They live off energy and pressure. You'll see them walk around at the line of scrimmage, bring 5 or 6 in pressure, play one high behind it, and force the quarterback to make a perfect read in real time. And when they get you off schedule, they smell blood and create a lot of chaos.
Well, Delaware is looking to give the fans something to cheer about on homecoming, while Louisiana Tech is looking to come home as a bowl-eligible 6-win team. Delaware. Hey, Caleb, can you turn us off unless you're talking to me? After a fun-filled October full of midweek games and national nightly kickoffs, it's now back to Saturday afternoons in Newark. The Delaware Blue Hens host the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs in their first Conference USA homecoming game. Scott Klatskin, Pat Devlin with you from Delaware Stadium, where Louisiana Tech comes in poised to reach 6-win bowl eligibility for the first time since 2019.
Yeah, absolutely key to get that sixth win. Louisiana Tech coming off an easy win against Sam Houston, but prior to that, a tough overtime loss to Western Kentucky. It feels like they have their mojo going on offense. They ran it really well last week. And then you look at the Delaware side of the ball, and they're coming off of a really tough loss to Liberty. They need a change in momentum to get them back on track. And to be able to do that, they need to get a quick start here and get momentum on their side.
Let's meet the coaches. You saw Sonny Cumbie, who led the NCAA in passing yards in 2004 at Texas Tech. A pair of former quarterbacks coaching it along the sideline today as Ryan Carty, former captain, former national champion as a member of the Blue Hens. Graduated in 2006. Delaware won the toss. They will defer. Louisiana Tech with a record of 5-3, coming in looking to get bowl eligibility. Wiggins is back to return, as is Gandy, one of the top return men in the country. But you don't get to return kicks very often against Nate Reed. He set the school record for career touchbacks a week ago. 82, now 83 for Nate Reed. Let's take a look at the quarterback spotlight, sponsored by Christiana Care for the love of health. And it's Blake Baker running the show for Louisiana Tech. He took over as the starter back in early September.
Yeah, absolutely. Watching the film of the game last week, he played a really good game, as did this whole offense. The week prior, he did have some ups and downs where he was on target early, missed some in the middle of the game, then finished the game pretty strong. So we'll see how he starts out here on this first drive.
Starting out of the gun. It's a team that ran the football so well last week against Sam Houston. Most rushing yards in a game since 1991. Over 400 yards rushing for Louisiana Tech. What would be some keys to success for the Bulldogs?
Yeah, first off, you called it. They want to control the line of scrimmage. 426 yards last week. And you can see right there they ran an unbalanced offensive line. And they just want to run the ball right at you and then maybe try to throw the ball over your head if you come up and try to stop the run, which Delaware is doing here.
Dylan Traynor bringing some heat and a tackle for loss as Myson Pollard, Noah Matthews combined for the stop. Matthews played some big-time football at Kentucky a season ago. He's been a major factor for the Hens in year one.
Yeah, absolutely. But looking at the Delaware defense, they did not do a good job stopping the run last week against Liberty. And so it's good to see them fit their gaps, which is one of their keys for their defense this week, and get a stop and play in the backfield a bit.
Some movement before the snap. Pass up to Gandy. And I thought I would see a flag there. We did. Kind of a free play there for Baker.
Great job by the center there, noticing they had an offside penalty.
Defense number 33 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
That's a youngster, Trace Scott. They like Trace Scott, a redshirt freshman, played 4 games a year ago from Orlando, Florida, out of Timber Creek High School. Got a start a couple of weeks ago as well, but a mistake there makes it a little easier on third down for Louisiana Tech. Baker again to Gandy. This time it'll count as an incomplete pass. And fourth down coming up for Louisiana Tech. That's a big confidence booster for a Delaware defense that was unable to get stopped so we could go at Liberty.
Yeah, absolutely. But they did a good job there. Even though they gave up that offsides, they kind of got this Louisiana Tech offense behind the chains a little bit. And again, they want to be able to run the ball and have a third and short, not a third and medium to a third and long. And you saw Blake Baker throw a good back shoulder there to Devin Gandy, but just a little bit off.
Hoyt Chance back to punt this one away. Kyrie Duplessis back to return as he backpedals. And the fair catch will bring Delaware's offense on the field for the first time when we come back. The home team with the football on ESPN Plus when we return. Nick Minicucci leading the Delaware offense onto the field, 4th in all of FBS in total offense. He has been running the show for Delaware this year.
Yeah, he really has. Talking with Coach Carty this week, he mentioned how the offense maybe looks a little bit different than he would like it to look, but regardless, Nick Minicucci has done an unbelievable job running this Coach Carty offense, whether it's taking shots down the field, being efficient with the ball. I think probably the most important thing that he does is take care of the ball. but he has been able to complete some shots down the field as well.
To your point, 15 touchdown passes, only 4 interceptions. Did have one a week ago against Liberty, but 2,400 yards passing so far on the year. And they'll get started after forcing the punt defensively, and Joe Silver going backwards. For Delaware, this is a team that is so good at throwing the football. One of the top teams in the country, 8th in the nation with over 300 passing yards per game. But what will they need to do offensively to get a victory today?
Yeah, first off is handle the chaos, which they did not do on that last play. These guys like to play in the backfield, and your offensive line has to handle it up front, right? 3-man down in the dirt, but then they bring a lot of blitzes, so the offensive line really needs to communicate to make sure they're picking up these blitzes.
It's like everything that Delaware is #1 in Conference USA for, Louisiana Tech is #1 in defending that category. Exactly. Louisiana Tech, one of the top defenses in the country. Nice pass there low for Sean Wilson to go and get it.
Yeah, good job. Just a dagger route right on the money. Again, good defense there, and just a really good catch by Kyrie Duplessis. And this is a manageable third down here, right? So you got 3rd and short. You can run it. You can do a QB run here if they're going to end up being an empty. Or you can obviously put it in the air.
One of the best 3rd down converting offenses in the country. 1st in Conference USA, 25th in the nation, 46% of the time. Delaware will convert on 3rd down, and Silver's going to have to push hard to get that one. Might depend on the spot here, Pat.
It looks like they're going to give him the 1st down. Just a good job keeping the feet going there after first contact. But again, you can see the speed of this Louisiana Tech defense. They really are able to shed blockers and create some chaos.
Ogans with first contact there.
So fresh set of downs. Delaware needs to stay in front of the chains. They need to win these early downs in order to not get in the 3rd and long and see these crazy blitz packages that Louisiana Tech has.
And Coach Carty wouldn't have been afraid to go for it there early in the game on 4th down. They lead the Conference USA in 4th down conversions. Slinging to the outside. It's Minicucci finding his favorite target on the year, Kyrie Duplessis. 42 catches on the season for Duplessis, coming over from Coastal Carolina.
And sometimes that could have been a true run play, and that's just a perimeter attachment, right? They see access out there, and they're going to throw a hitch out to Kyrie Duplessis. Good execution by Nick Minicucci in this Delaware offense.
2nd and short. It'll be Silver looking for some space, and Louisiana Tech just swarming against this rush. Delaware continues to move backwards. -6 now rush yards in this one.
Yeah, again, you can just see they're just playing in the backfield. I think that was Sifa Leota who did an unbelievable job shedding a blocker and then making a play 4 or 5 yards in the backfield. He's just all over the field. We'll be calling his number a lot today.
Leota with 44 tackles on the season. 3rd best on the team, 8 of them for loss now, 9 after that. Stop setting up 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Minicucci lofting, and that's interception number 14 on the year for this Louisiana Tech defense.
We talked about all the turnovers that this Louisiana Tech defense creates, and here you are on the first drive. And you're not sure if it's a miscommunication between Minicucci and his receiver, but just a ball that maybe floated. Who knows if the wind played a factor there, but a ball that was just way too far outside for Kyrie Duplessis. And I think that was Jakari Foster who ended up coming down with him. He's highlighted on my sheet. He's the playmaker on this defense, and he shows up early.
He most certainly is. His 4th interception of the season. That's more than I'm sure some team totals around the country. If you put it out there, Louisiana Tech will take advantage, and now some momentum swung to their side with a 1st down run pushed out of bounds by KT Say. 5th in the nation in interceptions coming into this contest, and they got one there. And Coach Carty talked to us about that and about their defense being opportunistic. If you give them a chance to get a takeaway, they will take advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. That was an easy one. That was a gift to the defense, and you obviously don't want to do that if you're the Delaware offense. But this Louisiana Tech defense, they're just in the right place at the right time and bringing pressure when it matters most and doing a good job of making teams turn the ball over.
A jump pass. Nice job by Blake Baker to initially avoid the rush. And he found Marquise Singleton, second leading receiver on the team so far this year, catch number 21.
Yeah, watching some film, Blake Baker does do a good job of when the play breaks down around him, he's able to actually find a way to make a play. He's not going to do it with his legs necessarily, but whether it's finding a check down or these guys working the scramble drill, he typically does a really good job of being able to extend the play and find an open receiver.
Starting to get more in rhythm throwing the football. He's thrown for 561 yards over the last 3 games. That was a much smaller number over the first 5 games of this season. Now they run the football, it'll be third down.
Yeah, it sounded like Blake Baker maybe, I don't know if split time is the right term, but they brought in a couple different quarterbacks throughout the course of the season, and it feels like they've settled in to Blake Baker being the main guy. Not that you won't see Andrew Burnett maybe playing a little wildcat quarterback. You could see Trey Kukik as well a little bit later in the game also.
Third down here for Louisiana Tech. Baker wants more than the 2 yards needed for the first. Gandy can't haul it in the end zone, looking for a flag, and it comes very late.
Yeah, that flag came from the center judge. Looks like he had a little bit of a different view on maybe a tug on the jersey. You can see Devin Gandy's shoulder pads out. That might be a sign that there was a little bit of contact.
Pass interference. Defense number 18. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that's a tough one for the Delaware defense. You get a stop on third down, but a penalty. And now Louisiana Tech moving a yard away from the red zone.
Yeah, but good things typically happen when you put the ball up and give your wide receiver a chance to make a play. And that's all you're doing. A little play action pass, good job stepping up in the pressure and giving your guy a chance to make a play on the ball.
On the ground, Wiggins trying to bounce it. Samiri Wiggins, 362 yards on the season coming in. Second leading rusher. Last week had 136 yards rushing, one of 2 Louisiana Tech Bulldogs to rush for over 100 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. They do it by committee in the run game, but you can see just a really tough run there by Amiri Wiggins. And you'll see these guys all day long. Not necessarily breaking 70 yards runs, although they can do that as well.
That's what it looked like on film a week ago. Baker to the air again, and he's been targeting Gandy.
Yeah.
Good coverage that time by Nate Evans.
Yeah, Nate Evans that time, but it looks like no matter who Devin Gandy is matched up against, they keep on throwing these fade balls just like this. Little play action, get the ball out of your hand quick. Typically as a quarterback, you're throwing it to a spot in the end zone, and you see Devin Gandy just couldn't quite get out to the sideline.
First trip to the red zone for Louisiana Tech.
They've kind of struggled in the red zone as an offense. I think mainly in the deeper red from what I've seen on film. But you know that they want to take shots at the end zone here, thinking touchdown to check down.
Baker in some trouble. There's traffic, trying to run away and cannot. The captain, Dylan Traynor, tracked him down, but there is a flag. Ronnie Burnett, referee, talking about it's in the direction of Louisiana Tech. Should be a hold against the offense.
Holding. Offense number 4. The penalties decline. 4th down.
Good job stepping up in the pocket here, maintaining 2 hands on the ball and then trying to get out of there. You can see the takedown there by Clay Tevenin. And they're going to have to settle for a field goal here.
This is going to be for 34 yards. We were told anything 35 or over will be John Hoyt Chance's field goal to take. Anything 35 and under, Drew Henderson will come in. And we are right almost at the line.
On the edge.
Drew Henderson's turn. He's 4 of 5 on the year. He gets the easier ones. Louisiana Tech trying to get some points on the board first. And Henderson going to sail it wide. No good, so Delaware turns it over. Louisiana Tech gets into the red zone, but no points on the board. Delaware's defense with a stop. We'll take a timeout here from Delaware Stadium.
This river wasn't damned in a day. And GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Get 0% APR plus 3,100 total value on this Sierra 1500 model. Plus, current eligible GMC owners get an additional $3,500 purchase allowance.
How do you choose the best provider to care for a seriously ill loved one at home? Start with experts offering a full range of services for different stages, all the way to making life's final months more comfortable. Then choose local experience, like a provider who's been serving this region for more than 40 years. Also find experts focused on a caring mission instead of profit. It all adds up to only one choice: Delaware Hospice. Positively your best choice for care at home.
When it comes to the health of you and your family, you want to trust in having the best partner for your well-being. Ranked a top hospital in the region, that's exactly what you'll find at Christiana Care. Because you deserve excellence from your physician, specialists, nurses, and staff, with safe and convenient ways to get the care you need. And at Christiana Care, we add in something special: love. It's at the heart of everything we do, and we do it all for the love of health. Your health.
First time these two teams are meeting as members of Conference USA, but not the first matchup in the series history. Delaware and Louisiana Tech met in the semifinal round of the NCAA Division I AA playoffs back in 1982 at the Joe, as they call it. Steady rain, sloppy field, but it was Danny Reeder who led Delaware on the ground. There was a block punt by Lou Rita that set up Delaware's first touchdown, and the Hens 17-0 victorious in the only matchup between these two teams. Footage provided by my Nokia flip phone that I had.
Surprisingly, even if you look at film from when I played, it still looks like that.
Here's a little crisper, Pat.
I don't know.
See if the Hens can be a little crisper on offense this time after turning the ball over on their opening drive. Snagged there by Jakari Kelly. And Nick Minicucci is going to spread the ball around. Yep. Whoever's dressed as a wide receiver is likely going to be in the box score.
Yeah, absolutely. But after your quarterback throws an interception, you want to give him maybe something a little bit easier to make him feel good, see a completion coming off of his hand. And that's exactly what that play was. Roll your quarterback out, get him a nice, easy completion. Good job by Nick Minicucci waiting for it to develop and then just throwing the ball to the flat.
Ellison's first carry. They went with Joe Silver on the opening drive, -8 yards rushing for Joe. And then Ellison now transferred from Tulsa, where he had a solid freshman campaign, averaged almost 6 yards per carry as a freshman a season ago. He and Silver have been rotating as the backs for Ryan Carty's offense.
Yeah, on that first drive, Louisiana Tech really played in the backfield. So it's good to see the Delaware offensive line being able to stay in front of their defenders, give the running back a little bit of space to get a couple yards.
Minicucci looking, and will throw out of bounds. There is another flag. Louisiana Tech is the most penalized team in Conference USA. Now, I don't know which direction this one is going, but we might be hearing from Ronnie Burnett
holding
a lot.
Defense number 9, 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, you saw Makai Mason really holding on to Connor Whittoff there. He was just running a simple flat route, didn't need to grab onto him. But you get a little bit of a feel for that watching the film of this Louisiana Tech defense. They do play with a lot of chaos, but in turn that can come out in some penalties at times.
If there is a flaw, it is the amount of penalties for Louisiana Tech per game, about 75 yards per game. Almost dead last in FBS football in terms of most penalized teams. So it is a first down, and here's Ellison. And a big play, breaking tackle by Jakari Foster. That one could have gone for a whole lot more. Foster already an interception and saved an X-play that time around.
You just see the burst there by Jakari Foster. You think that, Delaware might have a big run there, and he just flies out of nowhere, does a great job making the tackle, making sure that ball doesn't come loose on the replay here. Looks like they're going to let him play the next down.
Foster started his career in junior college, played in the national championship game at NJCAA back in 2022. Big-time player for Louisiana Tech now. Over the middle, there's Duplessis, and Delaware has it inside of the Louisiana Tech territory for the first time today.
Yeah, in the open, we talked about how this defense likes to blitz. That time they blitz, play man behind it, and you can just see that Duplessis does a really good job shaking his man, Cedric Woods, being able to get over on just a nice, simple under route. Again, easy throw for your quarterback, easy throw and catch, and it was on the money. Gave him a little extra time to be able to run after the catch as well.
24-yard pickup for Delaware. Minicucci quickly releases it as Emmanuel Oguns was getting there fast. The redshirt junior from Texas made it difficult on Nick.
Yeah, we talked about the 3-3 stack that this defense runs, and there's a lot of safeties all over the place. The pressure comes from a lot of different areas, so how is Delaware going to handle it? It's not on Nick Minicucci to figure out exactly who his hot is, make sure his wide receiver understands the sight adjust. All the sight adjusts in this Delaware offense are really built into how they're playing.
It's an offense that ranks first in Conference USA, top 50 in the nation. Quickly, Elijah Sessoms upended, but not before he picks up first down yardage. And this big target from Dover, Delaware, has really improved as a pass catcher this year.
Yeah, absolutely. But you mentioned he's caught the ball really well this year, but they love having his hand in the ground as well because he's an unbelievable blocker. When you as a quarterback have that safety blanket, it's so nice to have a big body that you can just throw right in front of you. It makes it really easy on a quarterback who's looking to find a completion, trying to get a drive going in the right direction.
6'3", 250 for Sessoms. That's catch number 20 on the year. He had his first touchdown a week ago against Liberty. Now Minicucci spikes it at the feet of Joe Silver as Louisiana Tech blew that one up.
Yeah, when you're playing an aggressive defense like Louisiana Tech, you want to see some misdirection in the offense, and that's what they do here. You see the pump fake to the left, trying to set up the screen to the right. Good job by Nick Minicucci saying, it's not there, I'm going to dirt it and live to play another down.
Delaware in the red zone. Louisiana Tech, a great defense, just gets better when they have less field to defend. They are second in the nation in red zone defense. Number one is number one Ohio State. So they are in good company when it comes to red zone defense. It's Silver on the carry, and again, nowhere to go for Joe Silver. 4 carries, still nothing doing.
And when you think about how good they are in the red zone, it's because of the blitzes that they can bring. It's because of how fast they are on defense. And when you get into the red zone, everything just gets tighter, right? You can't push the ball down the field once you get into the red zone. And so this defense just really thrives whenever they get inside the 20.
Delaware on the other side, not too bad themselves in the red zone. They've scored 75% of the time a touchdown when they get inside the 20. Louisiana Tech will call a timeout. We'll take a break with them. Delaware has it 3rd down and 11 when we return. It's homecoming here in Newark.
Timeout, Louisiana Tech, that's their first.
Here in Newark, and the hometown Hens trying to get on the board first. 3rd down and 11 here, Pat. 3:48 left to play in quarter number 1.
Yeah, Coach Carty loves to be multiple when he gets into the red zone, but you're behind the chains here, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. So again, you're going to try to take a shot to the end zone here, but you're thinking touchdown, check down, and you don't want to take points off the board, so do not take a sack here.
Minicucci looking the way of Lewis, has some room to run, stays behind line of scrimmage, now have to take off, and he was tracked down by Sifa Leota, a linebacker from North Texas. It'll be 4th down for the Hens.
Good job by Nick Minicucci hanging on to the ball there till the very last second, then tucking and running, and this is the Coach Carty go zone, in my opinion. He likes to go for it here, and now last minute it looks like he's going to bring on the field goal team, but I'm not sure how often they go for it on 4th down, but they've got to be one of the top teams in the nation to do so.
They converted at a rate that is tops in Conference USA in terms of times converting on 3rd down. That's 13 times on the year, but they will bring in Nate Reed, who's made 4 in a row, including 3 against Liberty. This one up and into the student section. Delaware strikes first on a Saturday afternoon, 3-0 blue and gold.
Yeah, that's a good comeback drive, right? First drive, you end up throwing an interception. Next drive, you come back, you get a couple easy completions for the quarterback, you run the ball a little bit, but then the drive killer is getting behind the chains, but still good to come away on that second drive with a couple points. And now you're going to give it back to this Louisiana Tech offense.
It's a 28-yard field goal for Nate Reed. And Nate talked this week about, he knows Coach Carty really doesn't like having to bring him out onto the field. Coach Carty would much rather count by 7s. But if you are asked to get out there, you better finish your job. And he did so there. He's made 5 in a row now. And he's got 8 field goals on the season. Now he'll do what he does best, which is trying to kick this thing into the end zone for the 83rd time in his career. He'll like to do so because Devin Gandy, one of the top return men in the country, an 85-yard touchdown return against Western Kentucky. And he will make sure Gandy does not get a shot this time around. So it's Blake Baker and the offense coming back out. Baker and the Bulldogs, 29 total yards of offense. Couldn't take advantage of an interception early on thrown by Nick Minicucci, although they drove it into the red zone against Delaware. Baker, he can run the football a bit, getting to become a bit more of a passer over the last couple of weeks for this Bulldogs offense. And they will run the ball, but not far, as Wiggins gets wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
Surprising to see them not come away with points on those first couple drives. They actually had 4 straight opening drive touchdowns in the last 4 games. So good job by this UD defense staying tough. I'm really feeling like they need to get Eli Finley involved. I mean, he's their leading pass catcher and just has not been involved in this game yet. He's one of your go-to guys. You really want to get him involved.
He had 6 catches for 154 yards, did Finley, against Southern Miss. So you're absolutely right. They like to get their tight end involved, and it's Wiggins involved on back-to-back plays now to the 30. This Delaware team looks like a motivated group after allowing 59 points a week ago.
And you wonder what their feelings would be, right? Coming off of a really tough loss last week, but they are flying around. They're doing a much better job with their run fits, which was a big issue against Liberty last week. And you wonder if they just spent all week doing that, right? Where do I need to be in each setup that we're going to be in? Maybe throw a little bit less at the offense and make sure that our alignment and assignment is correct.
Clay Tevenen is the back. Huge game a week ago, 143, but Baker going to throw this time. There's the tight end, Eli Finley. Pat, you were calling for him on 3rd down and long.
Yeah.
They gave him the rock, and they'll move the chain.
Exactly, on your 3rd and medium, and he's your guy, right? You know, he's just going to run a quick little Okie route, little 5-yard out route. And you could tell Blake Baker didn't look anywhere except for his tight end, and he knew he was going there the entire way. Delaware brought some pressure that time. Good job by this Louisiana Tech offensive line picking it up, giving their quarterback a chance to make a good throw.
26 catches on the season for Finley. There's Gandy on the slant, and that's the biggest pickup through the air so far this afternoon for Louisiana Tech. Gandy slow to get up, though.
Yeah, hopefully it's nothing too serious. It looked like that might have been 0 coverage from Delaware on that play. and that was probably just a sight adjust by Blake Baker. Seeing the blitz, Devin Gandy making a one-step slant route. Yep, you can see no safeties back there. And if Nate Evans does not make that tackle, Devin Gandy is taking it to the house.
24-yard pickup for Devin Gandy. He's caught multiple passes in each of his last 6 games. Sonny Cumbie, he used to be able to sling that rock for Texas Tech. He led the nation in passing yards in 2004. Did the head man for Louisiana Tech, almost 5,000 passing yards in his senior campaign for the Red Raiders. You'd like to see some of that here. And it's a ball tipped by KT Say. And every coach that comes and plays against Delaware, when you talk about the defense, you start with number 7.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, might have been a run play this time, but all of Delaware was up at the line of scrimmage, basically. And again, KT Say doing a great job getting up and getting his hands in the way of that pass. But another example of Delaware really selling out to stop this running game of Louisiana Tech. And Blake Baker doing a good job of seeing it and probably throwing a sight adjust to try to get behind this Delaware defense.
Baker going to try to run the football. And Calabodi coming up and making the stop. Calabodi getting the start today for the injured Kayshawn Cox. They like this true freshman with good reason.
Yeah, definitely a good read. That D end was really crashing down, so he had to pull it, but a good job replacing there by Jamarion Calabodi. But that's really not what you want this quarterback to be doing, right? You don't want him to be pulling out and trying to juke someone to get you some yards, and it puts you in a third and 11, 3rd and 12 here.
As the first quarter makes its way to a close, Delaware jumped. Free play, Louisiana Tech, incomplete, but that's I want to say 3rd time Delaware has been penalized on a 3rd down by Louisiana, or for
Offside,
Louisiana Tech.
Defense number 11, in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on. It looked like Blake Baker, when he did pull that ball, maybe he got rolled up on a little bit. Who knows if it's an ankle or a knee, but keeps on flexing that leg, and maybe he's walking a little bit gingerly, so you hope everything's okay.
Delaware, that's 3 penalties already for the Hens. They average 4 per contest, which is best in Conference USA. So you got the least penalized team playing against the most penalized team in the league, but so far it's Delaware with 3 penalties for 25 yards. We'll see how it helps out the Bulldogs here. A toss over to Teveden. He makes a man miss. He's got a 1st down and more at the 20. Open space and a touchdown for Louisiana Tech.
Great job by Tevenen. Just making one man miss, and then he outran everyone else. Some good stock blocking on the edge. And he really did the rest of the work there. Again, Delaware had some trouble stopping the run last week, and here it shows its face again. Again, just shaking one guy, get to the outside, and he's going to outrun everyone else on this Delaware defense.
Helped out by the block from the left tackle, Hayden Crispin, and Teveden living in the end zone as of late. He had 3 touchdowns a week ago, and on 3rd down, some help from the Blue Hens to allow him to change the play call maybe on 3rd down. And Teveden punching it in, so the Hens hurting themselves. Louisiana Tech taking advantage and scoring on a 7-play, 75-yard drive. And it's Clay Teveden, just a sophomore, comes over from Navarro College, where he was honorable mention JUCO a season ago, and he's been running wild for the Bulldogs as of late.
Absolutely. Again, you wonder if they schemed him up, right? We're kind of most of the way through the season here. You got a lot of film on this Delaware defense. All he had to do was make one guy miss, and he took it all the way to the house. But to the point about film also, right, you wonder if they saw something on film that gets them to jump, right? Maybe they're doing something formationally, or maybe it is just Delaware being a little bit undisciplined to get those offsides. But you're right, you go from a 3rd and 12 to a 3rd and 7, right? Kind of opens up the playbook, especially if you're thinking maybe we'll go for it on 4th down if we can get a couple yards on 3rd. And so it gives you the opportunity to maybe make a run play when the Delaware defense might be thinking, hey, maybe we bring one of our pass blitzes, and that puts you in a bad spot if you run the ball, if you're the Delaware D.
Zachary Kelly is a return man. My son Pollard not out there. Pollard 9 returns on the year for Delaware. Zachary Kelly has returned the ball 6 times. And nobody going to return this one. So one more play in the first quarter with Louisiana Tech up 7-3 after a big answer to Delaware's field goal. It'll be Nick Minicucci in the offense for the third time today.
Coming off of a drive where they put some points on the board, they drove the ball down the field. They have to be feeling pretty good as an offense about where they're at. And they just want to do more of the same, obviously execute better once they get into the red zone. But one of the components of a Cardi offense is also that they want to avoid the red zone wherever they can and get some big plays. And so if these DBs come up in pressure, you can think that Delaware might want to take a shot or two on this drive.
Final play of the first quarter. It'll be Minicucci. Slinging it. Nicholas LeBoy breaks one, wiggles out, cuts back on another. Holler at LeBoy into Louisiana Tech territory. And that's how the first quarter will end. So momentum for the Hens, down 7-3 as we take a break on ESPN+. .200 total yards of offense in the first quarter of action. 101 for the Hens, 99 for Louisiana Tech. Here's the Bulldogs up 7-3. Scott Gladskin, Pat Devlin with you as we open up second quarter action from Delaware Stadium. Silver getting tripped up on his first carry of the second half. His fifth carry of the day and minus 10 yards now for Joe Silver.
Yeah, just this, we knew it was going to happen. The chaos of this Louisiana Tech defense, just playing in the backfield consistently. The guys who we thought would show up are really showing up. Jakari Foster, obviously, all over the field. I expect to see a lot of Jacob Fields as well. And these guys will just be flying around, blitzing left and right, and causing a lot of chaos for this Delaware offense.
Best rush defense in Conference USA, allowing just 130 yards of rushing. And see what Carty's got up his sleeve here as Minicucci motions out. They'll fake the pitch back to him, and Joe Silver has some space. He'll get inside the 40, and he'll make it 3rd down and short for the Hens, likely in a 4th down area of the field for Delaware should they not convert on this next play. But you always know Coach Carty and his great offensive mind has something ready to go.
Yeah, this one was pretty low stress, right? You're just running an outside zone really to that running back with a little bit of window dressing as you try to flip it back to the quarterback. Quarterback act like he falls over, right? He's not that unathletic, right?
It's 3rd down and 3. And Minicucci will find Patterson. Patterson late to get his hands up, and I think he got enough to advance the marker. Patterson in his 2nd year since transferring over from Rutgers.
Yeah, bunch to the short side of the field. Good job just running a quick out route. Looked like they had a cover 2 corner sitting out there, but he got friendly to the quarterback while getting beyond the sticks. Really good route. Good eyes and good ball placement by Minicucci.
It is a 1st down for Delaware. And Silver just looking to get going.
Yeah. Just don't see a lot, right? You see a lot of guys in the box. You could see at that point that they were just going to play one high, single high. And, you know, if you're Coach Carty, you can't just throw the ball every single down. But if they're going to play that one high, you are going to see Delaware throw the football a lot more because there's just too many guys in the box, even if you're running the RPO game, to really be successful.
And they've been successful throwing the football this season. 8th in the country. Over 300 yards per game. Can he be successful here? Minicucci hanging one. And it falls incomplete. Looking deep for Sean Wilson.
That's a wide 9. Your inside slot receiver is running a fade to the corner of the end zone, getting a lot of width. There's a lot of field out there to throw the ball. Minicucci doing a good job. 3 steps, hitch, gets the ball out, but just puts it a little bit too far out. We're keeping an eye on the wind. It's kind of up and down a bit. You wonder if the wind is making a factor down there on the field.
3rd down and 9 yards to go for Delaware. Hens 2 of 4 today. Minicucci over the middle this time. And he finds Wilson for a 1st down.
It's interesting. You just see 6-man pressure, 1 high safety. It's just a one-on-one game basically at this point, and Minicucci's going to pick his top guys to go to. Sean Wilson, Kyrie Duplessis. That time picked Sean Wilson on a little in route. Good job using strong hands to be able to get that ball in. And then Nick Minicucci doing a good job putting the ball where it needs to be able to catch it.
Wilson coming off a 100-yard day at Liberty a week ago, his first game with over 100 yards. Dumping it down. Patterson again. And Patterson's 2nd catch of the drive. Moves it to the 25-yard line. See Max Patterson, the senior from Arlington, used a bit more last year in his 1st year coming over from Rutgers. He had 25 catches a season ago, now up to 12 after 2 this afternoon.
Yeah, we talked about that single high defense that they've been playing that time. Too high. Good job, Nick Minicucci, looking down the field and then checking it down to a secondary receiver.
Pressure coming. Lofted it up. Lewis. He was open, but the pressure forced it out early. Jacob Fields in the area of Nick Minicucci to apply the pressure.
That's a good example that they brought too many guys for Delaware to block. Minicucci knows he's hot. He's fading away. He's got the corner route. You're just trying to throw it to that pylon. Just when he was backing away, he just let it sail a little bit too far. And now they end up in a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 position here. And again, this is that range where they can go for 2, so running the ball here is not out of the realm of possibility.
Need 8 for a 1st down from the 24. A low snap. Minicucci, try again for Lewis. Tipped around and incomplete. Coverage that time by Cedric Woods, who's playing in his 54th career game at Louisiana Tech. He says, no, sir.
No. Ball left a little bit inside here by Minicucci. Good job, good feet, getting the ball out on time. Just left it a little inside. Lewis doing a good job trying to break it up to make sure there wasn't an INT there.
So Reed will come on and try again on 4th down at 8. Made one from 28. This will be from 41. And Nate Reed has this kick up. And good again. Make it 6 in a row off the leg of Nate Reed. Delaware, they'd love to get in the end zone, but they'll take some points. 7-6 after Nate Reed makes his second of the day.
Do you know what a blue hen is? It's prideful, spirited, fiery. A blue hen never backs down from a challenge. And we're there to support them. Delaware Orthopedic Specialist, the official orthopedic partner of University of Delaware Athletics.
What is Easter Seals?
What is Easter Seals?
Easter Seals provides services that give children the power to succeed. People with disabilities a place in their community. Seniors and caregivers the support that they need. Easter Seals Delaware and Maryland's Eastern Shore is changing lives every day. Are you raising a family? Caring for a parent? Know someone with a disability? Easter Seals is here for you. Look us up.
We'll take a look at the conference standings, sponsored by Easter Seals, serving all ages and all abilities throughout Delaware. A couple of undefeated teams at the top, Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State. How about Western Kentucky at 5-1? Most teams have played only 4 games. They're at conference game number 6 they've played already. And then, of course, an important game for Louisiana Tech, trying to stay above 500 in league play today.
Yeah, absolutely, but also trying to get to that 6-win mark, right, and get bowl eligible. I think that's always a target for the guys when you get to this point in the season. Maybe you know you're not going to go to one of the major bowls, but hey, let's get the 6, try to get to a bowl game and have some fun.
They played in a bowl game a season ago, but it was because Marshall had dropped out. They did not get to the 6-win mark. They haven't gotten 6 wins since 2019. On pace well to get there this season as Gandy back from an injury, and now he'll try to return this one. He is one of the top return men in the country, as we've mentioned. Devin Gandy, 3rd in all of college football, averaging 31 yards per return. So if he can bring it out, he's going to.
Absolutely. Yeah, you see that they're trying to get him the ball on offense, right? He's obviously guy number 1, and then we talked about on the last drive, Eli Finley getting more involved. He did get 1 reception on that last drive. You want to see him get in the game a little bit more, maybe something even down the field. They run a lot of 4 verticals and that sort of thing, and if they can get something in the seam for him, I'm sure they're going to try to attack it.
Baker. Tevinin, that's a dangerous pass, almost a backwards pass. It'll be incomplete, though, as Say breaks it up. The look for Clay Tevinin.
So they're rolling a backwards pass here. We'll see where the yardage ends up, but it looks like it'll be 2nd and close to 20 or 18 at this point, probably.
So my eyes were not deceiving.
No.
He did toss that one backwards.
Yep.
It would have been a live ball for Delaware to scoop up.
Oh, they changed it back. They changed their minds.
Are they changing? Yeah, completely. They're going to call it an incomplete pass.
Yep.
There's Manny Rojas. A change for the defense. And Manny Rojas this week after a tough game a week ago. Manny now on the sidelines. He's been up in the booth for the first games of this season. They bring him down onto the field. And he's got a close-up view of a big gain against his defense to the 40-yard line. That's Marquise Singleton for the 2nd time today. And Traynor is slow to get up. Dylan Traynor missed 3 games earlier this season, came back against Liberty, and now he's down. We'll see how Dylan is doing when we come back. 7-6, Louisiana Tech leads on ESPN+. Break. He did walk off on his own, which is a good sign, but you feel for Dylan Traynor as he missed 3 games this season already, 3 games last year. He missed 9 games in 2022. And we got a new quarterback into the ball game as Evan Bullock enters. There is a flag thrown on the first pass of the day for last year's starter, Evan Bullock for Louisiana Tech.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 33, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And another penalty for Delaware. Let's take a look at it. You get 1 step after the quarterback lets that ball go, and you can see just a hair late after he released it. But again, you can see the Delaware plan here. Again, they put their safety all the way up at the line of scrimmage. That's just a sight adjust there, throwing that fade ball. And it's interesting, you bring a new quarterback into the game, they're going to do what the offense does, right? And the read tells them throw that ball to the outside. He threw the fade.
Evan Bullock in as the quarterback hit by Jack Hall. Ball loose, intercepted. Nate Evans off the deflection from Jack Hall, and Delaware gets a takeaway.
Again, Delaware bringing the pressure. More people than this Louisiana Tech offensive line can pick up. Just a full slide to their left. No one touches Jack Hall. Unabated to the quarterback. Nate Evans, right place, right time, but that play was all Jack Hall.
We'll have to find out more about why Bullock was in the game in the first place.
Yeah, we saw Baker on that last drive. He had the what looked like might have been a little bit of a tweak to a knee or an ankle, and maybe he just couldn't go. You never know.
And then Trey Kukoc has been the backup quarterback. They've been playing him on multiple positions on offense over the last couple of weeks. So Bullock, who started last year, comes in, throws the interception. We'll see if Delaware can take advantage of the turnover. Down by a point. Minicucci, lots of time. Sideline, Whittoff, and he gets Delaware near midfield.
Thinking back to that interception, Bullock, maybe he's the number 2, maybe he was the number 3, right? And everything moves so much faster once you get into the game. You just wonder, maybe he got a little bit complacent after that first one, didn't think anyone could get to him quick enough, and sure enough, Jack Hall got there and caused a big turnover.
Ellison is the back with Minicucci. Nick Minicucci will keep it, slides in Louisiana Tech territory and gets a first down. He is a run threat. He is a powerful runner that is not afraid of some contact. I'm sure the coaching staff at times maybe wishes he was a little bit more afraid of contact, and he's learning how to slide a bit, but he is an aggressive dog.
Good job
from Don Bosco.
Yeah, good job trying to get down there at the very end. He wasn't trying to run through a linebacker and a safety at that point, so doing a good job pulling that, right? He got the pull read, and he's able to step around a defender that, again, is playing in the backfield here, but doing a good job getting some positive yards, getting the first down.
Far sideline, looking for Kyrie Duplessis. Caught it, fumbled the football, but it should be a catch and a fumble as Jakari Foster, who seems to be everywhere for this Louisiana Tech team, knocked it out of his hands.
Yeah, you're right.
Called incomplete, or are they going to mark it?
Let's take a look at the replay here. Looks like the ball came out when it hit the ground. So it looks like they're going to...
Down. Second down.
So it looks like they are going to give him the catch there.
The ball went out of bounds.
Yeah.
So a catch, a fumble. Delaware's had some trouble with fumbles this year. They've lost 6 of them. Didn't lose that one. And now Ellison making his way forward. Jaden Mayfield in on the stop with Jackson.
Just a nice, easy inside run here. Little puller, running some power. Good job staying in the A-gap there, getting a couple positive yards. Does feel like they're doing a good job not abandoning the run, right? It's not that they're breaking any long runs here, but they're keeping the defense honest enough by running the ball on a second down when they're getting some positive yards on first.
And Delaware's done so well passing the ball throughout the season that sometimes the game is dictated just throw as they throw here. Incomplete on third down. But they are running the football a bit more early on in this contest. It is fourth down, and to no one's surprise, I believe the offense will be staying on the field.
Yeah, you have a couple options here. You got a 4th and 4. Looks like closer to 5 to me, but maybe you just try to pull them off sides, call a timeout or save your timeout and take the delay of game. Or like you said, they just love to go for it on 4th down, so Cardi might be reaching into his bag of tricks.
For the 25th time this season, they will try on 4th down if they do snap the football. But a big clap from Nick Minicucci, and perhaps just trying to get a very undisciplined, highly penalized team to jump. They don't, and so we'll likely see the punt unit when we return. No, we'll stay here for the punt.
Timeout, Delaware. That's their first. 30-second.
We will stay here and talk about it. And, you know, Coach Cardi loves to go for it on 4th down, and with good reason. He talks about, you know, you talk about sometimes when you don't get it on 4th down, but when you do get it on 4th down, you're saving a possession.
Right.
You are continuing to have the football and not giving the football back to another team. So 4th down conversions, a stat that skews in Delaware's favor, is an important part of the game.
What's the time?
I've got 7:23, Rodney.
Correction, there was no timeout. Delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down. Please reset the game clock to 7:36.
You're hearing from our referee, Rodney Burnett. A big congrats. We learned Jerry Harris, the headline judge, game number 200 career All-Conference USA. So congrats to Jerry Harris. Quite the milestone.
Celebrating at Grottos later, is that what I heard?
Big party on Main Street.
Yep.
Diedrich Latulish is back to return. He wears 81 on punt returns. They got one of those jerseys that pulls over the regular jersey. He wears number 3 when he's a wide receiver.
It looks tighter than that Colorado one. It's not like the Big Tent,
that one's,
right?
You need help getting
that's a real jersey.
Yes, the other jerseys we've seen across the country, you just pull it over your head. Looks like
penny.
You need some equipment manager help to get that one on. Locke sends it to him. And now we'll take the break. Louisiana Tech will have the football when we come back. 7-6, they lead at 7:30 to play in the first half.
Before the 12 driver assist systems, before the 7 passenger seating, the Airmatic adaptive suspension, and the predictive AI technology, it starts with the same simple philosophy: to deliver the world's greatest vehicles. The 7 passenger Mercedes-Benz GLS. Even standing still, it's moving forward.
Did you know Delaware has beautiful beaches, unique breweries, and outdoor fun for days? It's got a little something for the night owls and the adventurous types. There's plenty of fun for the entire family and no shortage of award-winning date night options. There's endless discoveries in Delaware, and if you play your cards right, you might even get to experience them for yourself. Plan your own adventure at visitdelaware.com.
Today's game is presented by Bloom Energy, providing resilient, sustainable power to businesses across the U.S. and globally. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. Moon Services, for out-of-this-world service, moonairinc.com. And the Delaware Office of Highway Safety. You are where road safety starts in Delaware. Visit arrivealive.de.com for more information about the Delaware Office of Highway Safety. Scott Klatskin, Pat Devlin with you. And Blake Baker no longer with Louisiana Tech, at least not on this drive or the last. Evan Bullock back in as quarterback. He was hit by Jack Hall. An interception thrown last time he was on the field and ended up in the hands of Nate Evans. Bullock, plenty of experience as he tosses this one for a first down pickup. by Marlon Jackson. And we'll have to keep an eye on the sideline or get word at the half, perhaps on Blake Baker. But Evan Bullock, it was his job to lose basically coming into the season. He was last year's starter. Louisiana Tech was putting out tweets about QB1 number 7, and it's been 3 quarterbacks. One of them, the man who just walked in, Trey Kukuk. He's had some interception issues, has the transfer from Saddleback College, but he comes in on first down, and he'll run the football. An athlete, they've been getting him the football in different ways as of late. Caught a couple passes a week ago against Sam Houston, and they've got multiple guys coming in and out now. Kukuk ran the football, he'll come out, and now it's Bullock again.
Yeah, you mentioned Kukuk. He wants to really run the ball when he's in there. You mentioned the trouble with interceptions. So you can expect to see some QB run when he comes in the game, but it'll be interesting to see what Evan Bullock really ends up doing. Is he just going to run the offense as expected coming into the game?
Bullock has it 2nd down and 6. Toss. Ali comes up to make the stop with help from Mole.
I mean, you love to see what they're doing on offense right now. If you're a quarterback, you know, the first 2 plays he had, Delaware heated him up. He had the 1 interception, then comes back on the 2nd drive. And the first ball, he throws a nice crossing pattern. You know, and maybe you're still worried about what is Delaware going to do, how are they going to heat him up. But try to block protection and throw the ball down the field. And he's doing a good job putting the ball on the money.
Homecoming crowd making some noise here on 3rd down for their Blue Hens. Evan Bullock, All-Conference USA freshman team a season ago, coming in for Blake Baker. And a timeout going to be called by Louisiana Tech.
Timeout, Louisiana Tech. Their second, 32nd.
Yep, first half not going to kill you, but again, you have a backup quarterback in. You kind of expect that those things can happen. Maybe there's a little bit of confusion. He's not used to running and moving guys around as much as you might like, or as much as your starter would be, right? And it's okay to take a timeout there. It's not the end of the world.
Not the first time Evan Bullock has come in to relief Blake Baker. He was injured. Baker was against Kennesaw State earlier this season, and Bullock came in through 11 of 21, 100 yards in the game, threw an interception, ran the ball 8 times. So Bullock, who played the majority of last year, has seen time, but after the timeout, it'll be Kukuk coming back in.
3rd and medium, they've already had some success running the ball on this 3rd and medium down, so it wouldn't be surprising if they did that here.
Malumba showing pressure. Here comes Kukuk on the run. Decides late to tuck, but enough strength to power his way for a first down. He took contact about 3 yards shy of the marker and slid his way towards the first down.
Great job extending the play. You see him roll out here to the right. No one's open. Extend, and then 3 Delaware defenders right there, and he's able to sneak through each of them. Gets up and gives them the first down and talks a little smack as well. You have to love that to see your backup quarterback in the game and getting in the mix.
And I gave him a first down, Pat. They're looking at this one, and it may be just shy. It's dependent on the marker. They are going to review the play. That was a Matthews sandwich. Blake Matthews, Noah Matthews in on the stop. And right now, the marker is showing 4th and about less than a yard. But they did not give him first down yardage as I thought he had gained. Let's take a look. He was thinking about throwing it. Now Matthews comes. That's Blake and Noah.
Keep an eye on his knee.
Mole
right there. Man, I think he's close.
That's a huge call, Pat, because the punt unit is on the field now.
Yep.
Of a line to gain is under review.
Yep.
So they're going to go to the replay official, Eric Toe, to take a look at it. And Pat, right now here in the second quarter with 5:10 left to go, this is a pivotal portion of the ball game. If that's a first down, Louisiana Tech obviously can continue their drive. If not, Delaware's going to get the football back down by 1.
Yeah, this end of the first half, start of the second half is such an important part of the game. The middle 4 sometimes is what people call it. and you just want to be the one who has the momentum on your side during this time of the game. And to your point, this is a really, really big call here. Trying to get to the 43, right? 43 is the yard to gain. If you can stop it when his knee hits. He's really close. It's tough to tell because you can't see the check marks on the side of the field.
You do have to remember, one, it needs to be inconclusive, and the call on the field is short of the marker. Here we go.
After review, the ball will be spotted at the 43, just beyond first down.
Wow. So that's a review that goes against Delaware. I know Delaware fans and staff and players have felt like there's been a lot of reviews this year in Conference USA, and maybe not as many as they would like have gone against Delaware. I mean, in terms of reversals or being upheld.
What does fans stand for? Fanatic. They're fanatical, all right? Of course they think that, right? But no, I think that was a good call by the refs here. And almost you want to give it to Kukuk there, right? He just did a really good job beating through a couple defenders and getting the first down.
Now Kukuk, something easy for him again. A spin out and another first down. Still on his feet is Jalen Mickens across the 35.
Jalen Mickens, 10 catches on the year, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. You can see he has some explosiveness as well. Just giving him a nice quick hitch on the outside. Doing a good job, again, breaking a tackle. It feels like that's starting to become a theme here. These Louisiana Tech offensive players are able to break a couple of these Delaware tackles.
Now Kukuk on the run, back-to-back first downs, and that's what Trey Kukuk likes to do most, is run that football. He's had trouble throwing the ball this season a bit. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but
talking about Delaware trying to fill their gaps, there's no one on the outside there, right? They're just not containing the run game in this situation, and that's the second time at least that it's happened in this game. And they just want to get that cleaned up, right? That gets back to just alignment, assignment. Make sure you're filling the gaps that you need to fill to prevent those long runs.
They motion out Tevin, and Kukuk going to be wrapped up by Keyshawn Hunter for a minimal gain there. First time in 3 plays that Louisiana Tech hasn't had a big pickup. Big Keyshawn Hunter, 15th tackle of the season from the D.C. area. Started his career at Old Dominion. He's been at Delaware a while. Big fan favorite, number 9 on the defensive line.
I was looking at that replay to see if Keyshawn Hunter had a little bit of face mask there. It looked like it was just incidental. No penalty called.
Tevin in, wrapped up by Malumba. And now this Delaware defense making some stops in the run game. Malumba, Blake Matthews stepping up for the injured Dylan Traynor.
Yeah, watch Malumba get off the block right here, doing an unbelievable job. Shed the block, make the tackle. Really good job playing at and behind the line of scrimmage. As you said, this defense has really stepped up. Manny on the sideline for the first time, calling plays, maybe giving his guys a little bit of extra juice as well.
He's always juice. You got to be careful, Manny on the sideline. He doesn't go out there to make a play himself. 3rd down and 11. Kukuk under pressure, down he goes! The freshman got to him, Brandon Gorham.
Yeah, good to see the Delaware defense playing in the backfield on this drive. Again, just doing a good job getting around, just beats the right tackle there. Easy sack, felt like it was a long developing route. Again, Delaware showed no safeties. They're going to bring pressure, and Kukuk just not able to get the ball out of his hands in time.
Brandon Gorham.
That's a 2-minute timeout.
Second sack of the season. His first came against Colorado. 4th down coming up for Louisiana Tech. And we've hit the 2-minute timeout on ESPN+. After a sack by Delaware's defense, it's on John Hoyt Chance. Or they're going to give it to Drew Henderson. Chance is going to hold. Henderson missed from 34. Typically, the long field goals belong to Chance. Delaware has Pollard back in case it's short. This will be a 49-yard try. Already one miss on the day. And 0 for 2 goes Drew Henderson.
Interesting strategy there. To your point, John Hoyt Chance, typically the field goal kicker for anything over 35 yards. And you wonder what the calculus was. Again, thinking wind. Doesn't look like there's a lot of wind there. Second one he's pushed off to the side today. And you wonder, what is coach thinking at this point, right? The next time they trot out a field goal kicker, will it be Hoyt Chance out there or will it be Drew Henderson? But from a momentum perspective, right now the momentum gets back to Delaware, coming off of 2 field goals, right? They have under 2 minutes, right? This is kind of what you work for, right? All 3 timeouts, minute 55. They can really push the ball down the field if they want to. Or you can just check it down, right?
They do so to Silver. Great pass catcher out of the backfield. 24 catches on the year coming in.
The most important thing when you're starting out a 2-minute drive is to get something positive. So a lot of times you'll see just a quick screen maybe to the running back. This time, send everyone down the field. Good job checking the ball down to your running back, making a positive play.
Call motioned out. Minicucci avoids the rush. Some room to run across midfield and sidewinding his way to the 46 of the Bulldogs. There's a player down back at the 27-yard line for Louisiana Tech. And a flag to boot. Nope. There's a man down for Louisiana Tech. Let's see what happened to him. I thought I saw a couple of Bulldogs run into one another. Yeah, we did.
That's right.
It's Christian Davis who is down. He ran into Alonzo Jackson.
Yeah, good to see him hop up. But Nick Minicucci on that play did a really good job. Eyes downfield, feeling some of that pressure, escaping. And then once he did escape, that field really opened up. You talked about the sidewinder. He ended up going almost back to the middle of the field. But doing a good job getting a positive gain. Now they're across the 50. When a Coach Carty offense gets across the 50, they like to take a shot. So let's see if they do a little play action down the field ball here if they get the opportunity. They don't need to, right? Minute 22 left, still have all 3 timeouts. You can't give up on the run here either.
Here's Nick. Time again to throw the football. Instead, he runs, and he's got his way to the sideline. A first down. Once more, back-to-back runs for Nick Minicucci, and he stops the clock.
Yeah, he just saw the field open up in front of him as he was standing in that pocket. You see him as he breaks the pocket. He gives a point to Joe Silver and Elijah Sessoms, and they end up picking up Makai Mason. Good job by Nick Minicucci getting up the sideline, get out of bounds, avoid the big hits like we were talking about earlier, live for the next down.
With 70 seconds left in the first half. Minicucci lobs, looking the boy, and falls incomplete. Cedric Woods having a nice day in coverage.
Yeah, but it's good to see them again try to push the ball down the field. That's a staple of a Coach Carty offense. You want to give your guy a shot. That's a couple times today that the ball has been out of bounds. You want to try to be a little bit more accurate if you're Nick Minicucci.
1:06 until halftime. Delaware all 3 timeouts. Clock stopped though. As Minicucci drops back. Middle of the field, high and snagged by Kyrie Duplessis.
There was a big collision in the middle of the field. We'll see what the referee calls here. Looks like a hold on the defense.
Delaware moving up even further after the flag.
Yep.
Holding, defense number 20. Penalties declined, result of the play is a first down.
because of that mesh concept, and they ran together. I mean, that offensive line really had to hold up there to allow Nick Minicucci the time to be able to deliver that throw a little bit high, but a good job going up and getting it by Kyrie Duplessis.
So the Hens set up in the red zone.
Now it's that battle again, right? First on offense versus first in defense.
Nick Minicucci over the middle. Silver, did he haul it in? A touchdown! What a grab!
Joe Silver, you talked about how he can catch the ball coming out of the backfield. Typically when you're throwing it to a running back, you want to put it right on him. Again, this play takes time to develop. Can't tell if it bounced. Got to slow it down for my old eyes. Definitely a bobble.
All scoring plays they'll look at.
After expedited review, the ball hit the ground, incomplete pass.
Let's take a look here at that. It would have been one heck of a grab.
You can't tell from that angle, but it did look like it bounced off of the ground.
You got to feel like if you're Delaware, there's been so many reviews this year that have not gone your way. Now finally you get a review and they decide to expedite it.
Well, hopefully that means it was clear, right?
Deciding not to take their time when Delaware needed it most. Instead, it'll be 2nd down and 10 and an incomplete pass for Nick Minicucci, who will try to run it himself and go nowhere.
QB run, right? I think he has 6 touchdowns on the year. Sorry, 8 touchdowns rushing on the year. Most of them come in this red zone situation. But again, you try to spread them out, get Minicucci going up the middle. They just have too many guys in there, and they're really good on the defensive line and linebacker level to allow something easy like that to happen.
Delaware still with timeouts left, so just working the clock down. They want to score, or if they don't, at least Louisiana Tech won't have a chance. 3rd down. Minicucci backpedals. Throws back in the end zone. No one there. Delaware wants a hold or a flag of some sort, but won't get one. And Nate Reed will have another opportunity this time to give Delaware the lead.
Good job by this Louisiana Tech defense. They're bringing pressure, one extra than Delaware can block. And they just do a good job passing off. There's a switch on that short side of the field, and the defenders do a good job passing it off and make sure they don't drop anyone. Good job forcing another field goal for this UD offense.
Nate's made from 28 and 41. This one from 27. And it's been the Nate Reed show for the Delaware special teams unit here in the first half, as Delaware will lead 9-7 with just 7 ticks left. So yeah, thought you may have had a touchdown. Instead, it's wiped away on an expedited review. And you have to settle for 3. Delaware with a lead, but not the number that they'd love to be leading by. You feel like if you're Delaware, you've moved the football, had to settle a bit for Nate Reed attempts.
Yeah, but this Delaware offense is really meant for down the field shots. Yeah, you can see it hit the ground on that replay there. But you have to do something special like that against this Louisiana Tech defense in the red zone if you're going to expect to score against them.
This Louisiana Tech defense special in the red zone.
But good job by the Delaware offense now on a couple drives. That one specifically doing a good job managing the clock, taking care of your timeouts during the half so you don't have to rush, and getting some more points on the board.
You're telling Nate Reed here, do not allow Devin Gandy to return this football. And he won't. Another touchback for Reed, who set the single season record a season ago and is the all-time record holder for touchbacks all-time at Delaware. Your kicker has the most kickoffs ever. That's Sean Painter.
What do you think? Come on.
I set you up for it. You got to score to kick off. And that seems like a Cal Ripken-esque untouchable record. He's in the 200s. So Louisiana Tech will come out take a knee, take this into the half. In a tightly contested Conference USA matchup, after 2 quarters, Delaware leads 9-7.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're Delaware going into half, you're happy that you're on top, but you're obviously not happy that you haven't gotten the ball into the end zone to score a touchdown yet. If you're Louisiana Tech, you're going back into halftime, talking to your quarterback, Evan Bullock, and you're saying, hey, here's the play sheet, right? What do you like? What don't you like? I think they're going to have to lean on the run game a lot, but we'll see what this Delaware defense does, because it really feels like they've committed to stopping the run, and that's forced Louisiana Tech to try to throw it over the top.
We've got a close one for you at the half from Newark, Delaware. You're watching Conference USA football on ESPN Plus. Delaware with a lead by only 2 at the break. Welcome back into Delaware Stadium. I'm Scott Klatskin alongside Pat Devlin. We are at the half, and Delaware has relied on their field goal kicker to give them a 2-point lead, 9-7 at the break.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job by this UD offense recovering from a rough start, throwing that interception early, but doing a good job getting back on the field, moving the ball down the field, and we talked about that red zone matchup, right? The really good offense of Delaware versus the really good red zone defense of Louisiana Tech. And it's played out so far that we've had 3 field goals for this Delaware offense. If they're going to want to win this game, they're probably going to have to put it in the end zone one of these times.
Well, let's take a look at those first half stats brought to you by IBEW, Local 313, and the National Electrical Contractors Association. Together, we power Delaware. Pat, what stands out to you as we look at the first 30 minutes of play?
I was pretty surprised by those third down numbers by Delaware, right? 3 of 8 on third downs. It feels like they've been able to sustain drives. That's probably by avoiding third downs more than by converting them. So again, big key for Delaware is to stay ahead of the chains. If you're Louisiana Tech, you probably feel pretty good about these stats, right? You had your quarterback go out there in the middle of the second. You still have close to 100 yards passing, 71 rushing yards. So I think if you're Louisiana, you want more of the same, just make your field goals.
You saw the numbers. Let's see what it looked like on the field. Today's Game Track, sponsored by Highmark Blue Shield, the official healthcare insurance partner of University of Delaware Athletics and Recreation, because life.
Yeah, early on, this was the interception that we talked about. Again, not how you want to start the game, but a good job recovering. And then the field goals start, right? And good job on this play. This was Tevinen taking it into the end zone. Again, Delaware having some trouble in the run game. Again, more field goals from Delaware. And then Louisiana Tech doing here. This was that 4th down play that they were able to sneak one on the review. And then the Delaware defense did stand up at the end of the half there, getting a couple nice sacks. This was that ball that was almost caught near the end of the second quarter there.
They're ready for action. Jakari Kelly dropped the football. Luckily for Delaware, it stayed in the end zone, or that would have been disastrous. A heady play by Kyrie Duplessis to grab it before it comes out. Watch this. Kelly backpedaling. Duplessis got his hands on it. That would have been quite the turn to start the second half. Fans just getting back into their seats after getting some hot dogs and beverages here. And they almost missed a huge play. It works out for Delaware, though, a touchback. And Minicucci will start the second half back in shotgun form. He had 147 yards passing in the first half and throws it behind Elijah Sessoms, who's holding his back and down at the 29-yard line after the first play of the drive. This is an aggressive defense, and you saw a hit there. I think Delaware might have wanted a flag, but that's Makai Mason, and we'll take a look.
We talked a bit about this offensive line in the first half, but kind of picked up right where they left off, doing a good job protecting Nick Minicucci. Nick's trying to protect his guy there, throwing it a little bit behind him, but Makai Mason sees an opportunity to take a hit, and he does, right? That ball's in the air. There's a chance that he could catch it, and he ends up hitting him, and you hope that Elijah Sessoms can walk it off, and he's all right.
Just a big hit on a big guy. Yeah. Elijah Sessoms catching this one at a touchdown a week ago, but he'll sit out at least momentarily. Connor Widoff will come in as the tight end. He rotates regularly with Sessoms. Widoff, the transfer from New Mexico a couple of seasons ago. Second year on campus in Newark. And just over 200 yards of offense in the first half. And a first down pickup for Sean Wilson. He really has quite the rapport, not only with Kyrie Duplessis, but Sean Wilson, a redshirt freshman. Wilson played in one game last year. Yeah. He was throwing the ball twice. He had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. You can tell that they do have a great rapport. Again, good early in the half. Get your QB comfortable. Get him an easy completion. Just a nice quick rollout, little snag route. Able to get a good completion.
Minicucci high, and Duplessis got a hand on it, could not haul it in. A couple of white jerseys, Shelby and Fields in the area.
Yeah, looking back at the first half, they didn't have a ton
of explosives. They didn't have any explosives out on the sideline, but they did have 3 explosive passing plays in the middle of the field. So you might want to expect a little bit more of attacking the middle of the field versus those fade balls that we saw drop incomplete for the Blue Hens.
They flip it to Jakari Kelly, looking for an angle with some speed. It's a sprint at the 40 and tracked down inside the 35. Jakari Kelly, the speedster from Gainesville. But there's a flag back in Hens territory in the area of a hold.
Let's see if we can see it on the replay.
Holding, offense number 61, 10-yard penalty, second down.
That's a shame. When you get the big guys in space, it's really tough for them to stay with their blocks without holding. It's really easy for a little shifty defender to get outside of the shoulders, and next thing you know, an offensive lineman's called for a hold. But good play design here by Coach Carty, trying to keep this chaotic defense on their toes.
And negates a 30-yard run by Jakari Kelly. That's one of the captains, Stephen Demboski. And you take away a 30-yard chunk by Kelly there. Delaware hurt themselves on third down defensively against Louisiana Tech in the first half. Minicucci spins it wide for DePlacy there. And this is uncharacteristic of this Delaware football team, who is the least penalized team in Conference USA. They average just 4.5 penalties per game. That's 14th best in all of FBS football. 6 penalties, 55 yards this afternoon and now into the evening for Ryan Carty's squad.
Yeah, just haven't been clean today, and that's carried on to the red zone, right, where they know they need to execute the best that they possibly can against this really good defense. They just haven't had a really good day on the execution side of things.
Third down and very long. 17 for Minicucci, who's on the run. He tucks. And a lot of promise on that drive after a big Kelly run, but it got called back for a hold, and now Delaware will have to punt the football.
Yeah, it's good solid play right there. You don't want to have to force it. It's 3rd and 17. You don't want to push the ball down the field and end up with a turnover against this defense that really flies around the field. So an okay job there. Hey, we're behind the sticks. Let's not do anything crazy. Just let's punt it away and live for the next drive.
Brennan Locke last year was ranked 2nd in all of Division II in punting, 45.5 yards before coming over to Delaware, averaging just under 40 this year for the Hens. Latulis is back wearing the 81 jersey with no name on the back, and he waves for it. It'll be Louisiana Tech on offense. What quarterback will we see when the offense comes out? We'll find out in just a moment on ESPN+.
At the University of Delaware, our classrooms are idea incubators. Nearby beaches are our research laboratories. Our Blue Hen spirit leads to bold adventures. We learn, challenge, explore, and triumph together. Because here at UD, nothing is out of reach. No limits, all possibilities. The University of Delaware.
Oh no, the furnace is on the fritz again.
This time I'm calling the moon.
Wow, he's here already?
At your service. There you go. Mission accomplished.
Our house is nice and warm again.
Thanks, Moon Man.
You're awesome.
You're welcome. Just go to moonair8.com.
For out-of-the service, moonair8.com.
Dylan Traynor, a captain on this defense, not going to be able to join his teammates on the field the rest of the way. An injury suffered in the first half now will obviously keep him out of this one in the second half. Not the only team, though, suffering some injuries as Blake Baker for Louisiana Tech at the quarterback position is out as well. It's Trey Kukoc at quarterback to start the third quarter on offense.
Yeah, 29 plays in this first half. 16 of them are run, 13 are pass. With the quarterback situation, Blake Baker being out, Trey Kukoc, let's see if they continue to be fairly even or if they lean on that run even more.
Clay Tevenen had a touchdown in the first half. And it'll be Kukoc. They like to run the ball with him. Again, last week against Sam Houston, they actually put him in the backfield, threw the ball to him a couple of times. So he's an athlete, and he comes out. We're probably going to see a rotation of Kukoc and Bullock the rest of the way.
I think that's a safe assumption. It's interesting. I haven't seen Andrew Burnett out there at all. I saw him take some Wildcat snaps as well at running back. So they might be even banged up a little bit more than what we know about.
Bullock was the QB a season ago. Lofts one for Gandy. And it's incomplete. That's Jamarian Calabodi getting the start for the injured Kayshawn Cox. And he's been in on the action several times.
Yeah, that song remains the same for this offense. They're trying to get Devin Gandy the ball no matter who's on him. Anytime there's press coverage, they're trying to give it to him on the sideline. I'll talk about Eli Finley. Again, you have a backup quarterback in the game. You have a 6'6", 240-pound junior tight end. He is the quarterback safety blanket. You have to find a way to get him the ball.
3rd and 6. Some pressure. Bullock hit as he throws, and it falls incomplete. Now it'll be Louisiana Tech's turn to punt the ball away in the 3rd.
Looked like he was looking Eli Finley's way here. KT Say in the coverage, doing a good job. He's all over him. There's nowhere to go with that ball. Good job just putting the ball in the dirt. Again, don't turn the ball over. Get your punter out there. Live to fight another down.
Delaware's defense much improved after allowing 59 points a week ago against Liberty. And now Kyrie Duplessis back to return. Had trouble tracking it, but he's going to give this one a shot at the 15. And wrapped up as a flag is thrown down across the field. There is a flag back at the 30-yard line. Tackle was made nowhere near where that flag landed. And you can see Rodney Burnett and John Mitchell having a conversation about it.
Personal foul, face mask. Kicking team number 15. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot, first down.
After a 56-yard punt and a 15-yard penalty, Delaware will have the football on offense when we come back from Delaware Stadium. Delaware, six-time national champions, but Delaware and Louisiana Tech both claiming the 1972 national championship. Delaware was named the AP Small College National Champs in 1972, while Louisiana Tech was named the National Football Foundation College Division National Champ. So both teams celebrate a 1972 national championship. I think it's only fair that the winner of this game gets to claim that 72 title. What do you think?
I think that's good, except was there another national champion in 1972?
Right. The University Division, USC.
Okay. All right, so then the winner of this game has to go play USC.
Has to go play Southern Cal.
All right.
I think they're in the top 25 again this year.
Then we'll pick a 72 winner.
That's right. There's an injury on the first play of the drive. A Delaware player is down.
Looked like he just got rolled up there at the end of that play. It's tough. This offensive line has been so strong. They've done a great job protecting Nick Minicucci. They've really done a good job running the ball as well. At 63 rush yards on the day.
And it's Patrick Shuck who's actually hobbling off. Those are the rest of the offensive linemen that are getting ready to get into the action, but it's 71. You can catch him kind of walk by the huddle where the camera is on. 71 tracking in the corner of your screen is Patrick Shuck, who's missed a couple of games for injury already. This offensive line has had guys move around 4 starting lineups in the first 8 games. I think they've been fantastic, all things considered. Guys moving places. Finn DeBrose has played center and left guard. Anthony Kachese has played different places. So has Noah Roshak. And now we'll see a new right guard with Patrick Shupp out of the ball game. Catch is made on the far side of the field by Donovan Lewis. Has really come on strong for this Delaware offense since missing the first 4 games. 11 catches over his last 4 since returning.
Yeah, good job just seeing access out there. Again, just doing a little play action fake, throwing a hitch route. But going back to the offensive line and the movement there, it's tough for a coach to be able to coach all these different guys in different positions. But to your point, they did it early in the season. And so to have a guy go out here, maybe for a couple plays, maybe for a little bit longer, but it's not that big of a deal for this Delaware offense.
Minicucci under duress, and it was Alonzo Jackson that blew up the play.
Good job getting the ball out of your hands, right? Not taking the sack. Really good effort there. Save some yards for your punt team. Again, just the pressure comes from everywhere with this Louisiana Tech defense. And that time they're able to sneak through and get some pressure on Nick Minicucci. Don't think that was a hot situation. That was just a really good blitz by this Louisiana Tech defense.
Tech is now number 21.
Announcing a number change, I believe. It is 81 back to return. It's Latulis who wears 3 on offense. And a bunch of punts to start this second half. Locke gets it away, barely. And it'll be Louisiana Tech back on offense without the services of Blake Baker. The quarterbacks for Louisiana Tech pretty even in terms of what they've done from a passing perspective. Baker, 41 yards throwing. Bullock, 33 and an interception. And Kukuk, 22 yards passing. It'll be Bullock to start this drive.
Yeah, you know they're not going to abandon it, but I wonder at some point if they tell their quarterback to not throw those perimeter attachments, right? The fade balls that we've seen, and just run the ball, right? It feels like they need to establish the run. It's such a big part of what this offense does. I understand that Devin Gandy's a great player, and you want to get him the ball, but just keep it on the ground and try to ground and pound a little bit.
They do put it on the ground that time, and we'll pick up first down yardage in doing so. Wiggins that time. I mean, to your point, Pat, Louisiana Tech is coming off of a game where they ran for 426 yards on the ground, and Delaware could not stop the run against Liberty.
And that exact play is what I was expecting to see a lot of. You just see the offensive linemen double teaming their defensive linemen, trying to get up to those linebackers, hand the ball off to Wiggins, and let them just run straight downhill.
Piero motions, but they'll go back to Wiggins. We're seeing Wiggins and Tebeden just about even. Wiggins skewing with more carries thanks to the start of this drive, but both rushers ran for over 100 yards a week ago against the Bearcats of Sam Houston.
And it looks like they're bringing him out of the game right now to bring in a couple extra wide receivers. You do not see a lot of this by this Louisiana Tech offense. They almost always keep a tight end attached. This is pretty rare for them. Let's see if it's something special.
To Gandy, and Evans jumps right into his body. That's going to be an easy flag for the officiating crew.
So when a offense shows you
pass interference, defense number 1, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
When an offense shows you an empty check, sometimes the defense checks to all-out pressure, and it looks like that's what it was here. You see Matthews coming free, and again, the hot adjust is just a fade ball up to Devin Gandy, and you can see Nate Evans doesn't get his head around, just ends up trying to jump to block the pass and gets called for the interference.
Gandy, 5 targets on the day. Only 1 catch, but he's drawn some penalty flags and moves the football in different ways. They got to know where he is at all times. A big threat. Had a fantastic career over at Sacramento State in the FCS level before coming over to play his final year with the Bulldogs.
Empty again there. And we talked about going into halftime. What are they going to do? They're going to sit Evan Bullock down and ask him, hey, what do you like to run? I guarantee that that's something he said. Hey, I like to go 0 or empty, spread them out, and then just let me distribute the ball around the field, right? Give me some quick game, give me some easy completions out of that empty set, and then let's get the running back in the game and let me hand it off to him.
Yeah, you're going to see Evan Bullock be much more comfortable in the second half when you have 20 minutes to kind of talk strategy after being thrown into the mix after a Baker injury in the second quarter. He'll now have more plays that he can execute.
Again, Wiggins with that straight ahead, double-double, go right at him, kind of run game here. You don't see any pullers. It's just straight ahead, smash mouth football. Get a couple yards, get me to a manageable 3rd and 5, and then again, you can open up the playbook here. You can even go for it on 4th down if you get a couple of yards.
Louisiana Tech 3 of 7 on 3rd down. Bullock, pressure, flips it back to Finley, a dangerous play, but the tight end secured the football, avoided the fumble, but did not gain any yardage on 3rd down.
That was a check with me, right? So you heard the clap and then the look to the sideline by the offense. They changed the play. The Delaware defense then did the same thing. You saw them, they probably had a pressure on that they backed off from, caused a little bit of havoc from what Evan Bullock was expecting, but they're going to stick with it, and they're going to go for it here on 4th and 6.
Homecoming crowd on their feet on 4th down.
No deep safeties for this Delaware defense.
And they were trying to get the Blue Hens to jump. Delaware's been penalized.
Play a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
7 times today. They didn't get the 8th flag against Delaware, and so they will punt it away.
I think they probably heard something about the offsides penalties at halftime. Good job there, holding their water, making sure they didn't jump off sides and making an easy 4th and 1 here for Louisiana Tech. Now the question is, how close can they get this punt? You know, can they back up Delaware, make it really tough for them to move the ball across the field?
John Hoyt chance, 19 inside the 20 on the season. He's got a good leg on him at a 50-yard boot twice in this game. From the 50 this time, looking to place it. Special teams unit is there, well executed inside the 5, and so Delaware will be backed up to start their next drive when we come back on ESPN+.
Attention Blue Hen fans, we are excited to announce that Grain Craft Bar and Kitchen is the official postgame spot for Delaware lacrosse. Bring your UD pride from the stadium and go to any of Grain's 5 locations after the game, from Trolley Square to Lewis. Regulars have been enjoying Grain Craft Bar and Kitchen since 2015 for live music, great food, and fun.
Coming soon, Grain Exchange will be across the street from Delaware Stadium and will include an outdoor bar, stage, live music, and food. Grain Craft Bar and Kitchen is built by Blue Hens for Blue Hens.
Delaware Imaging Network is Delaware's most trusted and preferred imaging provider. When you need fast, accurate results, trust the team of experts at Delaware Imaging Network.
Nick Minicucci and the Delaware offense coming back onto the field earlier this month. Davey O'Brien Award finalists were announced, and Nick Minicucci amongst 36 quarterbacks in the nation on that list. He's one of 12 in a group of 6 conference, and the only quarterback in Conference USA that is on the Davey O'Brien Award watch list, joining names like Julian Sayin, Fernando Mendoza, Diego Pavia, Ty Simpson. A great job Nick Minicucci has been doing for this Delaware team, especially considering he was not even the starting quarterback day one for the Hens.
Makes all those stats even more impressive, right? And he's just done a really good job. He did have the interception earlier in the game, but you can see he just does a really good job taking care of the ball. The shots on the edges, on the sidelines, have not been there today. I'm sure they're going to go back to him, but the middle of the field has been an area where they've been able to attack.
Minicucci, one of 6 quarterbacks in the country with 15 or more touchdown passes and 8 or more rushing touchdowns. Getting it done both ways, and they'll run the football with Joe Silver, whose first run of the drive got him 7, and the next gets him 3. That's enough to move the chain.
And you like to see that Delaware is keeping it even. Minicucci with 29 attempts on the day so far. Starting off a drive where you're backed up. The goal is to get 2 first downs. You've accomplished the first down with just 2 runs. Again, this offensive line has to feel really good about how they're performing today.
Minicucci will keep it this time. Now he's going to tuck, trying to turn the corner, and will run out of bounds, pick up some yardage. He was being chased by Mekhi Mason, who's always active at that linebacker position for Louisiana Tech.
It's pretty quick, right? He's got enough of that speed, right? You talked about some of the power. He can't put his head down and deliver a blow, but here you can see he's just trying to extend the play, then good job getting to the sideline, step out of bounds, right? You talked about earlier in the season, maybe he would have gone after that contact a little bit. I think the coaches have coached him up a bit and said, hey, no need to take those hits, just step out of bounds.
Sean Goldrich, the quarterback coach, said, we need you, Nick Minicucci. And now he needs to find an open man. Can't do it. There is a flag as he's shoved across the 20.
Offense number 41. 10-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Pat, that's the 8th penalty against Delaware today. That is almost double their average on the season.
Yeah, but it's really forced by Louisiana Tech, right? We talked about all their chaos. You can see him right here. Just gets his hands in a little tight. A little bit of a ticky-tack one. Usually if you keep your hands inside the shoulders, they won't necessarily call that. But it can get tough when there's a change of direction. Minicucci breaks the pocket. You have to somehow see that through the back of your head and try to let the guy go to not get that holding call.
Good news for Delaware. We spotted Patrick Shupp returning to the lineup at that right guard position. He'll block it on 2nd down, and Minicucci finds Wilson, who slips a tackle and is on the run into Louisiana Tech territory and down at the 40. Sean Wilson coming off a career-high day.
Sideline warning, charge to the offense. Result of the play is a 1st down.
He had over 100 yards at Liberty, and he's got 87 after that one, a 51-yard pickup to the redshirt freshman.
Just a decisive throw by Nick Minicucci. no hesitation, get to the top of your drop, let that ball go. That ball didn't get more than 10 yards off of the surface of the field there. Good shot by Nick Minicucci and great run after the catch by Sean Wilson.
After 4 punts to start the third quarter, now an offense is in business. After gaining 51, Minicucci finds the tight end Winoff for 6 more.
It's good to see we saw Elijah Sessoms go out a little bit earlier in today's, and Winoff just hops right in, and you can see he is a target for Nick Minicucci, and it's good to see when a guy goes down, next guy up. Really good coaching by this Delaware coaching
Please reset the game clock to 4:19.
Another stoppage as there's a player down once more for Delaware. And that's Patrick Shupp. So you'd think maybe he tried to give it a go, telling Coach Rogers that he can get back into the game, and maybe now hobbling once again. You see 71 at the bottom of your screen, and there he is, Patrick Shupp. 50 career games played for Delaware. He's moved around, played left guard, right guard, graduate student. 6'4", 350 from Easton, Pennsylvania. As you can tell, he wants to be in there, but it'll put Kachesi at right guard and the Syracuse transfer Noah Roshak at right tackle. Silver finds a crease. And the Blue Hens getting closer to the red zone after Joe Silver moves the sticks.
I mean, Patrick Shupp comes out of the game. You have to shuffle some guys around, and then you create a seam like that the very next play and a run. Again, speaks to the coaching, doing a great job talking these guys through their alignment and their assignment throughout the week. If this guy goes down, here's how we're going to manage it. You can tell he didn't miss a beat.
Silver the back on first down. Minicucci throws it towards the turf as Makai Mesa was giving him chase once again.
Minicucci has rolled out a little bit more tonight than I can remember seeing on film. And again, you wonder if that is something to do with some linemen being a little bit banged up. All this pressure that we know Louisiana Tech is going to show. Sometimes just rolling your quarterback out away from that pressure is the best way to combat it.
And not quite in the red zone, but this is where Louisiana Tech, we talked about, tightens up. Second best red zone defense in the country behind Ohio State. 2-point game. Minicucci fires away to the 15-yard line, setting up third down and short. Winoff once more.
So that time they're running a crossing concept across the middle, again trying to attack the middle of the field. But surprisingly, no blitz, just a 3-man pressure. Good job by Minicucci hanging in the pocket, letting it progress. Good job by these wide receivers not running through zones, right? You see Winoff sit down in the zone and get the ball. Again, good play by this Delaware offense and good job of execution by the players.
Scott Moore is a freshman tight end who just entered the ball game. On third down and 2. Minicucci reverses course, throws end zone, diving, caught! Touchdown, Kyrie Duplessis!
That is trust in a wide receiver right there. Duplessis was fully covered up. Didn't have a chance to catch that ball, I thought, but next thing you know, he was able to slip in front of the defender, get his feet down inbounds for the Delaware touchdown. Let's take a look at it again. Watch his feet here at the end. Wow, great job getting his feet down. Looks like they're still waiting for it to be confirmed.
Delaware had a touchdown catch reversed in the second quarter after an expedited review. This one should stand. We are waiting on Eric Toe and Jason Lambert in the replay booth. And as we predicted, Delaware's touchdown will stand. The lead, 15-7. Nate Reed, a busy day. Kicking field goals. Now he gets a chance for a PAT.
Coach Carty's pretty fired up on the sideline over there. You can tell he was really looking forward to this matchup against a great red zone defense.
And a 14-yard touchdown pass. We'll see it again.
I mean, just a fadeaway jumper to the back corner of the end zone. Great job by Duplessis getting his hands down. Amari Butler, I mean, I don't know what you can do there. He's running to the corner of the end zone. He thinks there's no way that there's going to be a ball thrown here. Next thing you know, Kyrie Duplessis doing a great job adjusting and getting to that ball.
The more this league sees Kyrie Duplessis play football, the more you wonder how there was not a spot for him in rotation as a receiver at Coastal Carolina. He's got 47 catches now on the season, 5 touchdown grabs. He only had 23 catches in 5 seasons at Coastal Carolina.
That is the positive of the NIL transfer era, right? You get opportunity. And I know a lot of folks might not like how it always plays out, but it is an opportunity for a guy who wasn't going to get the kind of reps that he's getting at Delaware to come out here and put on some really great tape.
The NIL era and the transfer era in all sports, it takes away, but also it also giveth. And for Delaware, they were hit not quite as hard as most teams in the transfer portal. Nice job retaining players in the offseason. Only lost 34 players since 2022 to the transfer portal. I think that speaks to tradition and guys wanting to stay.
It speaks to the win.
Yeah.
You've seen this complex. I mean, they're really putting a lot of money toward athletics here at the University of Delaware. And when these guys look around, it's hard to beat a facility that was built 3 years ago, right? It's really state of the art.
Talking about the Whitney Athletic Center.
Timeout, Louisiana Tech. Their first, 30-second.
And then Delaware on this team, of course, Kyrie Duplessis is a transfer. Only 12 transfers on the Delaware team this season. It's the fewest in Conference USA. Now Sonny Cumbie going to have to dial it up. Down a quarterback on offense as Blake Baker injured in the first half. Sonny Cumbie, great quarterback in his own day. Started his career as a backup to Cliff Kingsbury at Texas Tech, and then he led number 23 Texas Tech to a win in the 2004 Holiday Bowl over number 4 Cal. The quarterback in that game opposite Cumbie, a young Aaron Rodgers. That's quite the resume as a QB Cumbie has. Let's see what Bullock can do to add to his resume on this drive. And it helps when he's got a guy to throw to like Devin Gandy. 7th time they've looked his way in this ball game.
Yeah, you mentioned Devin Gandy getting a ball again. Also, it's interesting to see them go empty again, right? Something that they didn't put out a lot of film on. But again, something I'm sure that Evan Bullock said, hey, coach, I really like going empty. Spread them out. Let me see what they're doing, and I'll spread the ball out from there.
Tevin is the running back. He had a big touchdown run of 37 yards in the first half. Haven't seen much of him since, but now a bit of a boost on the sideline for Clay Tevin, transfer from Navarro College, who's closing out 500 yards rushing on the season.
Yep, and this is what they want to do, right? They want to hand it off on first down, doing a good job, getting 7 yards on first down. It really opens up the playbook. QB run or play action pass. You can really take a shot here if you want to.
Q Cook, the quarterback now, always a threat to run. And he'll do so on 2nd and 3, enough for a first down near midfield where Myson Pollard and Merge Malumba merge on the quarterback.
Yep, this is what this Louisiana Tech offense wants to do, right? They will spread them out, right? I guess they will go empty now when Evan Bullock goes in, but when Kukuk is in the game, they're going to want to run the ball as much as they possibly can, whether it's QB run or directly to the running back.
Kukuk remains in on 1st and 10. A yard away from midfield at their own 49, and it's Kukuk tucking, creeping his way into Delaware territory.
When the clock ticks away, right, they're down 9, so they can't get it all on this drive. But they obviously want to control the clock. They want to stay ahead of the chains. Another good game there on first down. Yep, and now Evan Bullock comes back into the game, and see how the strategy changes, right? It looks like they have 2 tight ends in the game now. Kind of like a run set, but obviously you can run some play action off of this as well.
Bullock comes in 6 of 10. More of a threat to throw the football, does have an interception. keep it on the ground. Flag is tossed as they gave it to Tevin.
Probably had 12 guys on the field. Saw the coaches on the sideline, the Delaware
Illegal
coaches.
substitution, defense, 12 players on the field at the snap. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Again, it's just that discipline that Delaware's played with all season long. Whether it's the offside calls or illegal substitution here, pass interference, just really has not been their best game from a penalty perspective, and very different from what we've seen from this University of Delaware football team all year long.
It's so disciplined in terms of being penalized. 14th best in the country in terms of penalties per game. 9 today, though. And Tevin stopped by Gavin Mole. He's fired up. Gavin Mole's done such an amazing job for this Delaware defense, especially stepping up in times that Dylan Traynor, like today, has been absent. And that'll bring us to the fourth quarter of football. Delaware on homecoming, up 16-7, thanks to this one. Minicucci to Duplessis, and a lead in Newark. Conference USA football, Delaware versus Louisiana Tech in the fourth quarter. It's a conference matchup, but maybe the one and only time these two teams will meet as members of Conference USA. On third down, Tevin moves the sticks with a first down, a pickup, a big one there to start the fourth quarter. Louisiana Tech announced in June they have accepted an invitation to join the Sun Belt where they have been previous conference mates with 7 teams that are in the Sun Belt. Not official if they're going to move to Sun Belt next season or the year after that. But Louisiana Tech will be moving on from Conference USA as Delaware joined this season. And Kukuk, the quarterback who gives it once again to Tevenen. He cannot find an angle. Myson Pollard tracks him down.
Yeah, but going into the game, I don't think we were expecting to see Clay Tevenen quite this much, but you really like the way he's running the ball. He's really a good downhill runner. That time he got strung out all the way to the sideline, but when he's been able to set his pads and go downhill, he's really been an effective runner.
Kukuk to the air this time. And Jalen Mickens has been proven quite hard to bring down. He is slippery. The true freshman from Willis, Texas, with his second catch of the day.
When you're having trouble tackling, it makes sense to get a lot of guys to the ball, right? So you see 2 blue hen defenders get to the ball and bring down, to your point, a shifty defender in Jalen Mickens. Good job being aggressive, attacking the ball, but also a good job by this Louisiana Tech offense saying, hey, we're going to get access out there on the sideline. Let's just roll to it, make a nice, easy throw to a hitch route.
So Kukuk completes his second pass of the day. Bullock comes back in. And a flag marks it dead.
Ball start, offense number 60. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Roy Bracken's move that time. Coach Carty had a lot to say about this offensive line in the positive manner. Talking to him earlier in the week, saying, hey, these guys are big, they are physical, they are tough. But that time cost their team 5 yards.
Yeah, that's why when we talk about the objective of this offense is to control the line of scrimmage. They want to stay balanced, right? They don't want to just run the football.
And here's Andrew Burnett. You were looking for him all night. Andrew Burnett, his first carry, 188 yards on the season, 3 touchdowns coming in, but it's the first time that they've called his number this evening.
Yeah, you like to see how he runs the ball. Looking at the film, he played Wildcat quarterback a fair amount the last week, and we hadn't seen him at all. And so it's good to see him get out there, and he's another bruiser of a running back, but also he can break a long one if you let him.
Had a 66-yard run last game. Bullock shovels it ahead. Tevenen with room to run.
Wow.
Crashing into a Delaware defender and into the red zone. Go the Bulldogs.
Just talked about how Tevenen sets his pads and runs downhill. Watch him finish the end of this run. First off, a good job by Evan Bullock stepping up in the pocket, getting creative, pitching it out there. And then, wow, that's KT Say, one of the lead defenders here at Delaware. And he does a great job of lowering the pads and delivering the blow to KT Say.
You are not going to meet KT Say many times and end up on your feet. That was a physical hit by Tevenen. They'll go right back to him. Changing directions. And brought down for no gain. Saw Jack Hall get out of that pile. He's had a good contest, the 6-year man from Richmond.
We talked a lot about the other sides of the ball when we're talking about the Louisiana Tech defense being great in the red zone. Delaware needs to find a way to keep the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs out of the end zone here. Got a 9-point game, and you really want to try to force a field goal.
Second down, 11. As number 11, Mickens goes in motion. Kukuk, Delaware's all over it. Delaware, as opposed to Louisiana Tech and their defense being second in the nation in red zone defense, the Hens have struggled in the red zone, 10th in Conference USA.
Yep, absolutely. They've definitely had some struggles, but so has this offense in the red zone as well. So good on good when you're talking about the other sides of the ball. these guys leave a little bit to be desired. They seem pretty routine. They do a lot of the same stuff that they do in the field when they get into the red zone. I saw a lot of RPO type looks, trying to throw a glance behind maybe an aggressive defense. Let's see if they go to the play action here.
It's Bullock. Pocket collapses. Down he goes. Another sack in a big spot for the Blue Hens.
Nowhere to go if you're Evan Bullock. You can see it's just a meeting at the quarterback. You got 2-3 Delaware defenders, and then obviously the swarm shows up at the end there as well. Now it looks like they're going to trot Drew Henderson out for another longer field goal for him.
A two-score game here.
Yep.
So you get your 3 here if you can, although Henderson is 0 of 2 today. It's been tough sledding. Kicking into the student section, south end zone. This time, he gets it to go. There is a flag.
Looked like there were some extracurriculars. It'll be interesting to see if that's before or after the end of the play.
It was 4th and 16. So this is important. You're right, if it was before, it's a different story, obviously, than if it was after the kick. If you're talking personal fouls or anything like that, that would make it 4th and very short, if against Delaware.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking team number 41. That's his first. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
And we'll have that kickoff when we come back. Louisiana Tech gets within 6. Delaware will have the football on ESPN Plus when we come back.
Benzino, Brandon Coley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
Yeah! Woo!
What'd she call Harper?
Oh, you mean Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
We actually sold the Twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Kids are so expensive these days. Here he comes.
Oasis Breeze Tan and Spa.
If you need a tan, I'm your man. Could do business with you.
Or we can look at some investment options for you.
Works for us.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
This is gonna be an awesome game, guys. I still can't believe you also bought a new Shell Brothers home. After seeing yours, how could I not? True. Wait, I think we lost JD again.
I'll go check the basement. I'll go check upstairs.
Wow, tankless water heater. And PEX Plumbing, so efficient.
Oh yeah, that's a healthy filter.
Dude, what are you doing?
Bro, it's so fresh. You gotta check this out. That is fresh, no doubt.
Oh, that's okay, guys. I guess I'll watch the game by myself again.
At the University of Delaware, our classrooms are idea incubators. Nearby beaches are our research laboratories. Our Blue Hen spirit leads to bold adventures. We learn, challenge, explore, and triumph together. Because here at UD, nothing is out of reach. No limits, all possibilities. The University of Delaware.
Delaware bends, doesn't break, but a nice job of Louisiana Tech getting points on the board. Under 10 minutes, fourth quarter on ESPN Plus. I'm Scott Klanskin alongside Pat Devlin, and a 14-play drive taking up some clock for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, 14 plays, and Louisiana Tech really did it their way, right? It felt like they were using a couple quarterbacks, but they finally hit their stride on that drive and did a really good mixing in the run and the pass, mixing in Trey Kukuk as well as Evan Bullock in at quarterback. You had Tevin in at running back, Amari Wiggins in at running back, so they're using a lot of different folks. And then, of course, they're throwing the ball to Devin Gandy as well out on the edge. So really good drive by Louisiana Tech, mixing in a lot of different actions. But now they're going to have to kick off 15 yards further back than you would expect them to. And we'll see what they can do with this return.
And a dangerous return man in Myson Pollard. We have to run to get it. He will. Inside the 10. Shifts it to 20, and all things considered, that's really great coverage by Louisiana Tech. It started with a booming kick to send Myson Pollard backward. Pollard, we talked about Gandy being third in college football in kickoff return average. Pollard is ninth, so two big-time return men, and they got a hold of him.
Really good technique there, right? So the 2 returners for Delaware were offset, and all they did was kick it over the head of the one that was up a little bit closer. And to your point, the Delaware receiver had to come all the way over the field to get it, so wasn't able to really take a running start, and they're only going to start this drive from the 22-yard line.
Minicucci comes out, 246 through the air for him, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
9 minutes on the clock. All 3 timeouts left for Delaware, 2 for Louisiana Tech. It's not a time where you're just going to hand the ball off and try to play 6-minute offense. I think if you're Delaware, you're saying, hey, we're running our typical Delaware offense. We might take a little bit more time before the play comes in, but we're definitely not going to get conservative here.
Twice to Ellison. He cuts it back, picks up a first down, but another flag may hurt Delaware. And this is against the Blue Hens.
Holding.
And it is.
Number 70. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
That's double-digit flags matching a season high for the Hens in a ball game. They had 10 against Jacksonville State in a losing effort. Anwar O'Neal got called there.
And Sifa Leota also ended up being injured on the play. That's a big loss.
And we'll see how he's doing when we come back. A timeout, 8:23 left to play, and a tight one here in Newark. Out at Delaware Stadium, hoping that their Hens can finish the job. Up 6, 8:23 left to go, but penalties, Pat, not helping the blue and gold.
Yeah, penalties put you behind the chains here again.
And moving backwards further after a pass to Jakari Kelly. It was a penalty that brought back a 30-yard run by Jakari Kelly earlier in the contest. Double-digit penalties, 94 penalty yards against Delaware. It was Louisiana Tech we talked about that was the most penalized team in the conference coming in. Not the case today.
Yeah, certainly has not played out that way. And now you're in a 3rd and long. You're backed up against your end zone, right? You really don't want to do anything too crazy right here, but Coach Carty does have a pretty deep playbook. But going back to that last play, Michael Richard with an unbelievable tackle there, being able to hang on to Jakari Kelly's shirt tail.
They'll flip it to Minicucci, back to Silver. He needs some blocking, and he runs into one of those blockers at the 17. So
there's the deep playbook. Yeah, motion the quarterback out, snap it to the running back, pitch it back to the quarterback who throws back for a screen. They did have a lot of linemen out ahead of that play, but again, this Louisiana Tech defense, they just fly all over the field. and they're able to kind of track all this different movement. Look left, then back to right, then throw it back left. Got a bunch of big guys out there. Man, there's nowhere to go. Great job rallying to the ball by this Louisiana Tech defense.
Brendan lock on to punt it away. And Louisiana Tech going to have good field position with a chance to take a lead here in the fourth. A running start by Latulis will put the Bulldogs in plus territory to start their drive, down 6. So Bulldogs drive starts when we come back. Evan Bullock in the Louisiana Tech offense, starting in Delaware territory with a chance to take a late lead if they can punch it in. With 6:41 left to go in the ball game, their drive will start. And a diving catch by Mickens will be the first play of a very important drive for the Bulldogs.
Really long throw there. Great ball by Evan Bullock. That's a wide side of the field off of play action. Good job getting it out there. Ball that only his wide receiver can catch. And then Jalen Mickens, he's just had one heck of a game. I mean, he keeps on showing up on film. Great hands catch there as he's going to the ground.
To the ground this time. Wiggins, enough for a first down. And we're seeing Bullock able to make some throws now. You talked about the adjustments that this team was likely able to do at halftime. Just talking to him, coming in for the injured Blake Baker. Hey, what do you like here?
Yeah, it's like a confidence thing for a quarterback, right? You go in with a certain game plan. You're the backup quarterback. You probably didn't get that many reps this week, but he might just have, hey, these are the stable plays that I like and I want to run, right? We talked about empty before, but also maybe there's some play action that he really likes.
And I've got to go back on my statement. I thought they gave him a first down. They did not. That became 3rd down and 1, and now it becomes 4th down and 1, thanks to Gavin Moll's 11th stop of the day.
Just the pressure up front. Gavin Moll again up there doing an unbelievable job. Looked like Keyshawn Hunter was in the mix as well. When they needed this defense to step up, they've done a really good job, but they have another test right here. 4th down and 1. Bring everyone in right if you're this Louisiana Tech offense and probably just run a QB sneak.
Homecoming crowd on their feet. It'll be a direct snap to the running back who powers his way for a first down, and that's Andrew Burnett. That's something, Pat, you were looking for earlier in the contest. They go Wildcat, and the redshirt senior powers his way to move the stick.
Who else would you want to have the ball, right? Redshirt senior, 6'2", 225 out of Stuart, Florida. You can see no one's going to bring him down unless you meet him early in the backfield. Good execution there by the Louisiana Tech offensive line.
They don't convert fourth downs very often, just 40% of the time on the season, but got it there. Burnett, he's bounced around a little bit, came over from an NAIA squad in Kaiser. And now Bullock will throw it behind Mickens. Great hands by the freshman. He bobbled it, grabbed it, ran upfield. Ball pops loose, believe after he was down, but a flag is thrown. A lot going on that play as we approach the 4-minute mark.
I think that ball came out after he was down and forward progress had stopped, but it looked like there was a hold on the edge there that allowed him to get a couple extra yards.
Holding, offense number 18. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
It's Marlon Jackson.
Yeah, you can see it right there. A lot of jersey there on Myson Pollard. Looks like that ball didn't come out, right?
You can see the reaction in the replay of number 2, Myson Pollard, saying, hey, he grabbed me, he grabbed me.
Can't ever trust the defensive guys, though. Those guys are actors.
And negates what was a really great grab by Jalen Mickens, who's having a good day here in Newark. Mickens, a leading receiver with 4 catches. He had 10 coming in.
They're trying to figure out the spot here. Looks like it's going to be first down and 18 here. If you're Louisiana Tech, you're in plus territory. You need the score. You could end up with a field goal here and still be okay with 2 timeouts left. But you want to try to get half of it back right here.
First and 18. And when they need a big player, they need to move the football, they need some security, they turn to Eli Finley, the All-Conference USA honorable mention tight end from a season ago.
It'll be interesting to see. First down, it looks like Delaware was playing off there, just given access, right? And to your point, I got this big 6'6" tight end, just going to put the ball on him. Right now we're in a 2nd and 12, right? Again, try to get half. You only need 6 to get into a 3rd down and manageable. Again, give him something easy, some easy completion play.
Bullock. Underhand scoops it ahead to Tevenen, and Tevenen down the sideline. Close to first down yardage.
Looked like
and he did get it.
It looked like they got Evan Bullock out of the pocket. It's a good thing they did. Marlon Jackson's running right down the middle of the field wide open. But a good job getting the ball to your athletic guy. Tevenen doing a good job getting up the field and getting that first down for Louisiana Tech.
Louisiana Tech going quickly. Tevenen bounces out of that somehow and squeaks his way into the end zone.
Way to keep the feet moving. Clay Tevenen just having an unbelievable game today. But he's running hard. He's been bouncing off. He's been delivering blows. Just constantly keeps those feet moving and good things pay off. Here you see they're just running a little bit inside power. Oh man, I think he was probably even supposed to go right. Just got bounced out to the left and is able to outrun everyone to the end zone. And Clay Tevenen having a great day for the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs.
They rang the bell after the score, which ties the game up. And an extra point here from Drew Henderson can give Louisiana Tech their first lead since it was 7-3 in the first quarter. Low snap, kick is up. And the Bulldogs with a fourth quarter advantage. What an answer by the Bulldogs. Going quickly, Tevenen bounces it outside, punches it in, and Louisiana Tech up by a point with 3:09 left to go, plus a media timeout. Let's take a look at what's coming up on the schedules for both teams, sponsored by Dart. Download the Dart Transit app today from the Apple Store or Google Play. For Louisiana Tech, they'll go from here all the way across the country to Washington State, led by first-year coach Jimmy Rogers, coming over from South Dakota State, where he had such success there. And then they've got Liberty and Missouri State to close out Conference USA action. For Delaware, Ryan Carty will face a team where he was an offensive coordinator, and Sam Houston State won a national championship there at the FCS level. Sam Houston struggling this year, 0-8 on the season. And then they'll head down to ACC territory before closing out the year against UTEP. The equipment truck for Louisiana Tech going from here all the way to Martin Stadium in Pullman, Washington, 2,600 miles away. No stopping back home. Just going all the way to Washington. Delaware, they like to go all the way to the end zone if they could with 3:09 left to go, down by a point. And Delaware's been in situations before, end of game. Perhaps if they need to kick a field goal for a win, something Nate Reed is comfortable with doing. He sent the game into overtime against UConn. Was sent out there for a long try against Western Kentucky on this field as well. That one did not fall.
Yeah, this Delaware offense is not as explosive as they have been maybe earlier in the season, prior years. However, 3 minutes with 3 timeouts is an eternity. You don't have to do anything special here if you're the UD offense.
Minicucci's pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage.
And when you're thinking about the plays that they'll call, it's got to have it time, right? And who are they going to go to? You imagine that they're going to put the ball in Nick Minicucci's hand and say, hey, go win us the game. Because they have a lot of opportunity here, right? And it's the end of the game. They've been trying to wear down this Louisiana Tech defense. They're probably going to come with a lot of blitzes, so just put it on Nick Minicucci's shoulders, make him make good decisions.
Here's Nick, high in traffic. And Kyrie Duplessis was the target. Once again, Cedric Woods was there. How many times have we called Cedric Woods' name today defensively? A veteran, over 50 games played, all for the Bulldogs.
Absolutely. We talked about how they've been attacking the middle of the field. They've had success attacking the middle of the field. It was like one too many times that time, right? It looked like it was expected. And to your point, Cedric Woods doing a great job getting out in front of that in-breaking route and breaking it up. And now you're in a tough third down position here.
Delaware needs 10 on third down. And a false start's going to make them need 15.
False start. Offense, number 62 and 88. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
That's Sessoms back in action, and Kachesi.
Kachesi's one of the guys who came into the game, right? He's a little early there. Sessoms jumps. You wonder if there was something from the cadence, but now you're on a 3rd and 15. Again, you're really in fourth down territory. Sorry, and you might be thinking, hey, I don't need to get all this back. Maybe a screen might work here if they're going to get aggressive and blitz.
Minicucci scrambling, being chased. Flag is thrown downfield. Incomplete pass.
Looked like
will Delaware be helped out here?
Yeah, it looked like Jacob Fields and Jake Thal connected in the middle of the field there. You wonder if there's going to be a holding that's going to give you a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down if you're Delaware.
Holding, offense number 8. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah.
And that's a big miscue by the leading tackler on this team, safety Jacob Fields. We see Minicucci hobbling a bit.
Correction number is number 1.
Jacob saying, that wasn't me. I'm a leader on this squad. I would have done such a thing. Michael Richard being called for the flag as they correct the number. See Minicucci hobbling a bit there.
Yeah, you wonder. He's kind of trying to shake it off, but it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on here because his mobility is something that he depends on so much. You see him roll out of the pocket on that last play. You wonder if it's something as simple as just maybe a little bit of a cramp.
Minicucci about as tough as they come. If he's standing, he's playing. And he's got a first down at his own 30 now. Sideline, Thal, great hands! Foot down!
Up on the ball quick. They're going to try to go quick here, make sure that he was inbounds. Don't give him a chance to review the play. Snap it quick.
The previous play of a completed catch is under review.
We'll try to give you a shot of it if we can have one on the sideline.
Delaware has been on the wrong side recently of some reviewed plays. Let's take a look here. That one's not it. Jake Thal went up to get a pass a moment ago and tried to get his foot down. They haven't shown a replay at the stadium. We'll try to get you one. And this should be it. Minicucci to Thal. It's his first grab of the day.
Right toe.
That angle was close. They'd have to find another angle to make that inconclusive, I believe.
Yeah, that line judge was right there. It's tough to tell if there was any green in between the line and that toe.
At that angle, Pat, it would be hard, I think, to reverse a call at that angle that we just showed. There may be other angles that the replay official is looking at.
After review, the receiver came down out of bounds with his right foot. It's an incomplete pass.
That was a great shot.
That was the angle we just saw. Great job by the video team at Delaware.
Game of inches.
To get that angle, and that was the angle that sealed it for the officiating crew. Still just 2nd and 10, though, for Delaware. 2:44, 3 timeouts, and a 2-minute media timeout.
Only 25 seconds have ticked off the clock. It feels like an eternity since this drive has started.
On 2nd down, middle of the field, Silver dropped it. Silver dropped what would have been first down yardage to the 40.
Really tough when a ball's tipped. It is so difficult. It changes direction. The spin changes a little bit, and it's just really tough. You can see he was trying to trap it into his body instead of reaching out with his hands.
Zarek Hill got his hand on it, and you could see with another great shot from his Delaware camera crew right there, seeing 21's hand get up on it. So now 3rd down and 10, once more for Delaware on this drive. Looking for Duplessis that time. All over him was Jamal Shelby in cover.
Again, another in-breaker. Delaware had some success with it in the beginning of the game. They've gone back to the well a couple times. Feels like these DBs have really caught up. Can't tell if he's got a hand on the back. Ball's just a little bit out in front. But they're going to have to go for it here, it looks like.
On 4th and 10, 2:34 left to go, down by 1. 3 timeouts left for Delaware. Delaware needs to get to the 40-yard line. And they don't get to the 40. They do throw an interception, though. And Jacob Fields will take it all the way back. The 7th defensive touchdown of the season for Louisiana Tech.
And the chaos of this Louisiana Tech defense shows up when it matters most. Unbelievable job. Jacob Fields coming through, making an unbelievable interception, pick 6. That time they backed off. They didn't blitz, just had a 3-man pressure. Nick Minicucci had all day to throw. A little bit late on that throw to the outside. Jacob Fields just able to undercut it, make a good play, and take it to the house.
Opportunistic is how Coach Carty described this Louisiana Tech defense coming in, and they took that opportunity to increase their lead to 8.
So
what it does, though, Pat,
in the
is
grand
that
scheme,
gives Delaware a chance to get the football back and tie it.
Right.
So as exciting as it is to return an interception for a touchdown, might have been best case scenario, or not best case, but a solid scenario for Delaware in terms of now you have a chance to go tie the score, where otherwise Louisiana Tech would have been a couple of first downs away from being able to kneel on the football. Let's watch it again, though, here, Pat.
Yes, timing's good. Ball's just a little bit late to the outside, left a little inside. Jacob Fields, unbelievable job catching, getting the feet down, getting upfield with the cutback to get into the end zone. Great play by the chaotic Louisiana Tech defense.
You're not stopping Jacob Fields.
No.
He played running back a couple of seasons ago. Now out there as a DB, quite the athlete. Louisiana Tech, one of 6 teams in the country that has scored touchdowns by fumble return, interception return, and special teams return. The 7th defensive touchdown of the year. A touchback, and Delaware
right back on the field.
Right back at it. This time you got to score a touchdown, no opportunity to score a field goal, but the return actually gives Delaware a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. Again, you're still in this position where you can kind of just run your offense, right? If you're going to run the ball, you probably want to get up and run the next play pretty quickly, but you don't need to get out of what you need to do and what's been working. And the middle of the field has not been working, so let's see if they take some shots to the sideline.
Pressure coming. Open is Scott Moore, the freshman tight end, who gets a grab to the 30-yard line as the clock approaches the 2-minute timeout. 8 seconds before a break. Can they snap it in time to get ahead of the 2-minute timeout? They will by a second. Moore's open again, middle of the field, and he finds it. A dart thrown to the freshman tight end, and he powers his way into Louisiana Tech territory as we come to the 2-minute timeout.
That's the 2-minute timeout.
Delaware will try to tie this score when we come back, down by 8. Plenty of time for that man, Ryan Carty, to dial up his offense. 1:51 remaining. And the Blue Hens down by 8. 3 timeouts left as they'll try to tie this score on a fourth quarter drive. Minicucci, sideline, throwing it away as Tech is up the pressure a bit on this drive, as you assume they would.
Yeah, when any team, offense or defense, when it comes time for the end of the game, they're going to revert back to whatever it is that they do best. And with this 3 down front, they love bringing pressure. And that's exactly what they did there. They're going to play man behind it, and they're going to depend on their secondary, who's done an unbelievable job tonight keeping these Delaware wide receivers and tight ends in front of them to do it again on this drive.
Ball motions. Minicucci just has to get rid of it. As again, Louisiana Tech making it very difficult for Delaware's quarterback.
Yep. Same deal, bringing some pressure. Again, 3-man front. You see there's a defender who comes free. As a quarterback, you really have to be able to step into that throw, but there's no one open, so it's a good job putting it where no one else can get it. Good job by Jaden Mayfield getting that pressure.
Very quickly it becomes 3rd down and 10 for Delaware. They are 4 of 13 on 3rd down today. Pressure picked up by Silver. Minicucci on the run, has to throw across his body. And it falls incomplete, as that time it was Zarek Hill who caught up to the quarterback. There's a player down, Joe Silver. He picked up a block, but he gave up his body to do so. And Silver slow to get up.
Yeah, it looked like something happened to Joe Silver on that block. Minicucci doing a good job getting out of the pocket, feeling the pressure, getting rid of the ball, and not taking the sack there.
Coach Carty has praised his running backs about their ability to pass protect this season. Just kind of doing what they need to do to benefit the team. Even if the running stats aren't there, how can they help out? Well, you can do so by blocking for your quarterback. Silver did there.
And I think when you think about all the pressure that Louisiana Tech has put on today, you really think about how good of a job the running backs have done, right? It's not just the offensive linemen who are picking up those blitzes, but it's also the running backs who've done a good job sticking their nose in, right? Running backs aren't expected to be able to pass protect for 5 seconds, but obviously doing a good job sticking their nose in there and trying to make a play.
4th down and 10, though, for Delaware when Silver comes off of the field. And you feel for Joe Silver, senior from Washington Township, New Jersey, at Washington Township High School. Rushed for 179 yards against UConn in a big win for Delaware early on in this season. But the offense going to have to go on without him. Down by 8, 94 seconds left. And they've got to get to the Louisiana Tech 40-yard line.
So will they bring pressure, right? That's the question. They brought pressure on these last 2 plays. You have to think it's in their DNA, what's what they want to do. And so if that's the case, how's this Delaware team going to block it up and be able to push the ball downfield enough to get a first down? Because you can't just run a quick screen on a 4th down, right? That would take some real faith in what you have your play call if you're going to do that.
Delaware threw an interception on 4th down on the last possession. Now from midfield. 10 yards needed. It's Wilson with some movement. Airing it out. Looking for Duplessis.
Oh.
Wanted the flag. Won't get one. Yeah, there it is. There it is. It was late, but thrown.
Yeah, you'll see Kyrie Duplessis makes a move to the inside. Jamal Shelby just could not prevent just reaching out and grabbing a little bit of Kyrie Duplessis' jersey.
The dramatics on the flag toss.
Pass interference, defense number 7. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Let's take a look again. Again, they're bringing pressure. Good pocket for Minicucci that time, and he just leaves it inside. You can see the arm come across by Jamal Shelby, and that to me is enough to get that penalty to impede his progress to the inside. But I'm also an offensive guy, so. Fresh set of downs for the UD offense. Minute 20, still all 3 timeouts.
Minicucci stepping up. And it's caught for Delaware after the flag kept the drive alive. It's Wilson up over 100 yards for the 2nd straight week.
Still attacking the middle of the field. Good job getting the snap. Tight pocket. Good job keeping 2 hands on the ball, being secure and delivering a ball right on the money.
In the red zone, down by 8. Pressure comes. Minicucci getting rid of it. And he tosses it out of the end zone. As I believe I see another flag. Back at the 22.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 22. Penalty after distance to the goal, automatic first down.
So this is the penalized team that we talked about at the start of the game. Back-to-back big penalties against Louisiana Tech, one of the most penalized teams in the country.
So I always thought that Louisiana Tech probably had the better stuff, if you want to call it that, in the high red zone. Now we're in the low red zone, where head coach Ryan Carty's offense really shines, right? It gets really creative. There's a lot of movement that he does, a lot of shifting, a lot of motions, a lot of change of direction. So we'll see with the blitz that you're expecting here. Are they going to do something crazy, or are they going to keep it pretty plain Jane?
Three tight ends. Sessom is in. Whitaker is in motion. Some shifting. Ellison now behind Minicucci. And the play clock close to 0. Delaware going to have to
Timeout. Delaware. That's their first 30-second.
Use one of those timeouts on first and goal to go from the 7.
8 seconds.
And we're holding up the play from starting because of a substitution. Saw Coach Carty come from about the opposite 40-yard line, yelling at the refs about why they were holding up the play, but they have to give the Louisiana Tech defense time for the substitution. And with all the shifting, right, we talked about the shifting and the motions in the deep red, they just weren't able to get the play off in time.
Delaware had it 4th down and 10. A pass interference kept the drive going. Personal foul puts Delaware at the 7-yard line.
You gotta love football. This is best on best. End of the game. I mean, Carty's gonna have to dial up 2, right? He's gonna have to try to get it in the end zone, then a 2-point conversion if he wants to tie this game. But man, this is best on best. This is what football's all about.
Scott Moore in as a tight end. Ellison, a running back for the injured Joe Silver. First and goal to go from the 7. Minicucci will tuck, and he'll get inside the 5. It'll be 2nd down. The clock ticking, 2 timeouts for Delaware.
Yeah, so if I'm Carty, I don't think I call a timeout here. I think I let some clock run off, and then you have enough time to run 2 plays here. You don't have to go too quick.
Minicucci rolls out, end zone, caught! Homecoming heroics from Elijah Sessoms.
Elijah Sessoms took that big hit earlier in the game in the back. He was out for what we felt like a couple drives. Great job coming back in, showing some grit and some toughness. Good job, Minicucci, putting the ball on the money. Good play call, right? You like the play design there as well. Now you have to do it again for the 2-point conversion to tie this game.
What's your best call here? Big playbook from Ryan Carty. Delaware needs 2 to tie. And a timeout taken by Louisiana Tech as they watch Delaware line up. Wow, an 8-play, 75-yard drive that took up 1:49 off the clock, and now it all comes down to this, whether we'll see overtime in all likelihood, or if Louisiana Tech can become bowl eligible with their 6th win of the year.
And I'll say it again, best on best. Here's a replay of the touchdown. Good job threading the needle in between 2 defenders by Nick Minicucci. Good job with strong hands by Elijah Sessoms. And now it's best on best, like you said. You got to get the best play call. It looks like they're going to come out and line up in the same exact formation that they were before. It looked like Jake Thaw was going to go in motion. Nick Minicucci looks up at the sky, takes a breath. He knows he's got a big task ahead of him if he wants to get this ball in the end zone again.
Delaware to tie the score. Kyrie cannot haul it in. And the Blue Hens look like they're going to come up 2 points short on their home field.
So you get the hands team out now. That's just a fade ball, right? You're going to your best guy. Right? Kyrie Duplessis has been the guy all day long, and you're just giving him a chance to make a play. I don't hate it. But now you got to go out, put the hands team out, try to get an onside kick, and then go from there.
If you're Louisiana Tech, you're very aware of what Nate Reed was able to do at Jacksonville State, which was put down one of the most perfect onside kicks in all of college football this season. He had to hop over a 6'8" player on the Gamecocks.
He's now wearing number 81.
But he's going to have to do it again in a much bigger spot. Down by 2.
He's lining up for a short side of the field spinner.
Reed changed directions, and there was a whistle prior to the kick as Louisiana Tech called a timeout in time.
Timeout, Louisiana Tech. That's their third, 30-second.
So Reed started to the left side of the field, changed directions, and was going to look like he was going to try to kick it over towards the Bulldogs sideline, but a timeout first for Sonny Cumby.
Yeah, Nate Reed completed the kick. I don't think he got the hop that he was looking for. There was a Louisiana Tech receiver who was able to catch it before it took the big hop. Let's see if they do the same strategy for this one or if they're going to change it up. Looks like he's teeing it up basically the same way.
Nate Reed in Delaware did secure an onside kick a couple weeks ago on the road. He'll change directions, looking to get a bounce. It's high. Delaware has it. Delaware staying alive.
2 in one season. Change direction again. Again, they let it get really far down the field. Amani Givens can't quite get there. Jakari Kelly with the recovery. 40-yard line, 32 seconds, 2 timeouts. A lot of time on the clock for where they're at and what they need. Just take care of the football. You need about first down and an extra 5 yards to feel comfortable kicking this field goal.
Delaware has 2 timeouts remaining. 32 seconds. And their kicker, Nate Reed, has made from 49. That's his career long. Minicucci rolls out, pumps, can't take a sack. An incomplete pass there. You're about 8-10 yards away for Nate Reed.
Yeah, it feels like that. You want to try to get a first down here. Again, you only took 4 seconds off the clock with that long rollout. They're obviously rolling out. They thought they were going to bring pressure. They sure did. If you're Nick Minicucci, you think it's a safe rollout. Throw it away if it's not there. Don't try to make anything crazy happen on first or second down. Just look for the next down.
28 seconds remain. Low snap. Minicucci towards the sideline. Ball caught out of bounds. Kyrie Duplessis.
Good job taking access. Instead of throwing a hitch that time, they're throwing a nice quick out. Good job by Minicucci getting the low snap and delivering the ball. Obviously a little bit inside. You want to get that ball outside, but again, a completion is a completion in this part of the field at this time of the game. Needs another play like that to maybe move the chains, get a fresh set of downs. You still have the 2 timeouts. There's no rush. You just want to run a good play here. They're showing 0, no safeties deep. How can he block him up?
Minicucci under duress, throws it up, and Wilson kind of boxed out Cedric Woods just to make sure that one was not going to be intercepted.
Yeah, that time when I'm thinking about how I want to block up a 0 pressure, I don't want to let anyone come from the inside. And that time, Jakari Foster, of course, is able to come free. If there's one guy that you don't want to come free, it's certainly Jakari Foster. And they're going to trot out Nate Reed, for a possible game-winning field goal.
This would be from 51. Nate Reed got him an opportunity with an onside kick, and now for the lead, Nate Reed bangs it through!
Seconds on the clock. Now we got flags on the field.
Delaware on their way to a victory in the most miraculous of ways. mayhem on the field. Flags everywhere for celebrations. It's not quite done yet with 12 seconds.
All right, so obviously Delaware was celebrating. What makes it a penalty? Because they're Louisiana Tech's on the field too.
And there's a lot of discussion, probably part of that.
Field goal is good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct against the kicking team. 15-yard penalty being enforced on the kickoff.
I don't know if I agree with that penalty.
And explain your thought process.
What a lot of Delaware players came onto the field to celebrate the field goal being made. Was it called unsportsmanlike? They weren't taunting. They were celebrating their guy who made a field goal.
And there is that field goal.
So they're not taunting the other team.
Maybe some extra personnel on the field.
Yeah, and if you look at the other huddle, when they're off the field, our guys are allowed to be on the field, right? The Delaware guys are allowed to be on the field.
I think Nate Reed's so juiced up, it doesn't matter how far he has to kick this one.
All right, so now Louisiana Tech, 12 seconds. No timeouts left, though, right?
You do have Gandy, the third best kick return
Timeout, Delaware.
Based on averages in the country.
30-second timeout.
Back to return. And now you're in a spot where you just got to keep it away from him.
Well, there's no way you kick it to him, right?
And Louisiana Tech has no timeouts left.
Right.
What a ball game in Newark. It looked like Delaware was going to come up short. They needed an onside kick, and for the second time this season, Nate Reed delivered that once more off his leg. He kicks a 51-yard field goal, something he's never done in his career, and he picked the perfect spot to do it.
What a time to do it. So you cannot kick this ball to Devin Gandy if you're Nate Reed.
It's bouncing. Gandy will have a chance for a return. Gandy on his feet, looking for space. Gets down with 6 seconds. No timeouts for Louisiana Tech.
Looks like there's going to be a holding against Louisiana Tech.
Turn to return, holding, receiving team number 4. 10-yard penalty. Please reset the game clock to 7 seconds.
Making it a little bit more difficult for Louisiana Tech. This crowd is rocking on homecoming as they put 7 on the clock with the penalty. Sends Louisiana Tech backwards to the 25.
Trey Kukuk in at quarterback. You have to imagine they're going to put their most athletic quarterback in at this time.
It's Kukuk. One last shot for Louisiana Tech. Tevin will throw it back. Kukuk has it. Louisiana Tech still a chance. Kukuk back across the field. It's caught. The Tulis stumbles, falls. Delaware wins a dub at the tub for Ryan Carney and the Delaware Blue Hens in front of a homecoming crowd.
Illegal forward pass by the offense. The penalty's been declined. Game's over.
What a finish to a football game. You have an end of the game drive. You think you're going to tie it with a 2-point conversion. Don't get the 2-point conversion. You get an onside kick for the second time this season. I don't think I've ever had an onside kick recovered when I was playing.
There has never been an onside kick recovered by the Blue Hens with Ryan Carney as the head coach prior to this season. It happened 3 weeks ago. It happened again tonight. And it is pandemonium here at Delaware Stadium as they await the fight song. An easy choice for our player of the game, sponsored by Delaware Orthopedic Specialists, the orthopedic partner of University of Delaware Athletics, Nate Reed. Look at that line.
51, 41, 28, 27. That 51-yarder is a career long. What a time to do it. Wow.
The Ryan Cardiac Hens have played so many close ball games this season. And here was another one for the ages. A 1-point win after a 51-yard field goal by Nate Reed. Delaware victorious. A big thanks to our producer, Caleb Flieger, and the entire ESPN production team working on this broadcast. For Pat Devlin, I'm Scott Klatskin, saying goodbye from Newark, but I got a feeling the party is just getting started on a homecoming weekend. Final score, Delaware 25, Louisiana Tech 24. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streamed live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.